so far so good.
Okay.
Very positive and very refreshing. Because a lot of the promises that were made prior to the elections, have been kept. And because we started conversation, you mentioned some of the taxes.
That's right.
And one significant thing that managing has to do with, you see, very often my culture say your budget, your friend saying, that's easy for a government. So, but say so far so good.
Okay.
Very positive and very refreshing. Because a lot of the promises that were made prior to the elections, have been kept. And because we started conversation, you mentioned some of the taxes.
That's right.
And one significant thing that managing has to do with, you see, very often my culture say your budget, your friend saying deficit-based financing because always expenditure as change.
The income,
the revenue now you bring and this year we year market over 279 for the 2025. I best spend it, and I think there's a whole amount of money you expect to say sabeka from this year 223. And the financing gap near somewhere around 46. Also, compared to the past, clearly you know say it was huge. Sometimes we were around 60, 70 thereabout. So that particular amount now loan for me, it's a bit good. Yet to me to 2 year near my year we will be able to handle some of these things. But Alaska, the most important thing has to do with these taxes.
That's right.
5 of them. Because it's not easy for a government, so but financial sources have 5 taxes. Because these are revenue streams. Buying enya. And you year free hono. What is the alternative? And my culture says free SHS not net that hono. Net that ho because you need any assured financial way be a guarantee that you provided your friend saying financial guarantee to the year. But then through this particular budget, I think that some of these things, have been resolved. Maybe walk you through a lot of the many things are caused. So first one has to do with this your friends are taxes now year free one. First has to do with e-levy.
Okay.
And the second one has to do with your friends a betting tax. So a man for business a buying a year free what is the alternative? Alaska Makata say we are buying. You must always be very innovative and very sensible in what you're doing. Because there are always way around things about sika to cover for some of these things. For instance, so we had the amount of money from e-levy. Now we had the amount of money you free betting tax annually. Alaska, you go back to GRA. Oko GRA, omoha def your friend say recovery account that particular amount of money you used to say agencies in na se for no. So omo taxes in we are. I know the day GRA have this refund account to sikano. Ya tamba agencies any say ya tax no sika tax no no or do court that particular money it has been there sa sika no dumadi ayedi ni say say ahonto for to ya taxes maybe 10,000.
Okay.
But through whatever means they were charged 150 1,000.
Okay.
So there is an excess. Those kind of monies, it's a huge sum of money that has been sitting in that GRA account, and there are other revenue streams that are connected to that particular account. And this is gum, and it's a one of the your friends say adia that particular account na ewo GRA debt recovery we na ewo hono debt sikana kokoguma ya de service sa those payments one of the major way ya Kizuru because he has been mismanaging that particular thing for so long. So the plan is that money is sitting there, huge sums of money. And it's a we sa COVID your friends say e-levy free ho. Now we this particular betting tax free ho. That particular amount of money now go to a city in that particular GRA account is bigger than what these two monies are giving us. So I know the day that money alone can cover for some of these things. So there is no big deal.
So that was why I also been making that amendment.
Okay. So that particular sikana city in that particular account now. I know the day at the finance ministry you realign and this money will come back to cover for some of these shortfalls.
That's right.
It's positive. And that is the way you need to think. Alaska, one major thing a mania Jehopa has to do with free SHS. Makacho say you need assured or any guarantee source of funding. So this is what government has done this time round. So we get fund. Get fund. My catcher say ye kapeye.
That's right.
And now buying Sandy Kosi come kwaje bosia. So what President Mahama has done this time round and say a kana that your friend saying get fund so I had a Dutch bond interest servicing or government absorb our year free get fund so so government will pay you. So get fund no longer no service any debt.
So now a purposely for education.
For education. Then cap now that's no. Why on cap?
Okay.
So the monies that are earmarked for get fund, you know, every money will come.
100%.
100%. So get fund is going to get an excess of 4.1 billion. Alaska budgetary allocation for free SHS in a year 3.5. 3.5. So forever and ever no. We are going to have a guaranteed and assured source of funding I be pay for free SHS.
So every time there is an accountant.
Yes.
Says you can them purposely for free SHS.
Yes. So now we are uncapping your friend is saying get fund.
That's right.
So Sika BS about get fund will come. And I'm telling you we are going to get excess of 4.1 billion. Free SHS, you know. A amount involved, 3.5.
That's right.
So you are paying an extra, and the president also I can say, nipa amu ewo disability.
That's right.
Amu ko university, but na catch say nyansa nim say obi nan ye ne ya, obi sabi na ni hu ade na wa force wa to test here now so into your school fees.
That's right.
Nyansa bi anim.
We said it here.
Good. So this 4.1 billion na ebeto get fund account to me no say ya de 3.5 etua
free
SHS. There's extra. That extra no also pay for school fees for some crofo we nyina. Makata say governance is about being innovative, being reasonable and being sensible. Because over the years, you know, onyankofa sika mfiri baabia o. The same money na our system no ma over the years, ye to go anyansa bia nim no. It's just a way of finding a way to realign these monies for a certain purpose. Alaska, say see am not here, okwe road funder. A car done so enye sika ketwa. So roto na mu free ho no makacho se nyansa bia anim. So the best thing to do is to bring the roto your friends back and make sure say you too big because miss 10 cities 5 cities no you too big then you fix the road because roto one of the major source of funding road infrastructure and for no. So you need to increase that particular amount na for over 100%.
Right.
So it's a 50 cities, 20 cities it should be 40 cities. But make sure that you use the money to fix the road. Another day money be a winner from road toll is going to double. It means that investment at the road sector is also going to go up.
That's right.
What I say. So because of this realignment and re-engineering, you know, a lot of the problems are now so in the past, you know, some of these things have been taken care of. As I say, apart from get fund now, about say you know, government as they making allocation of I think 400 and something million to your schools.
That's right.
So this money is also going to take care of these textbooks by making sure say textbooks over the years and that monies are coming back. And then Wasia making commitment to pay nursing training allowance anyway,
right.
And specific allocations have been made. Say over 203 million Ghana cedis allocated for teacher training allowance payments.
That's right.
And 408 has also been made for nursing training allowance. So the promises that have been made, you know, an extra 100 million has also been made for assembly. Now the budget extra 100 million has also been made for assemblymen. And one thing has to do with your friends school feeding.
That's right.
And also amount, you know, I move from 1.4 to 1.71 billion. And also no, your friends say the purpose say krano sika no mo ye emu be mia, but that amount of money, no, I'm thinking say is still small.
Okay.
Go Alaska. Na akura bia di 150 pesos.
150 plus. And or they are called 2 cities.
Or they call 2 cities. Government need to work on that because and we saw okwa is leguaman for kraman credit more than 2 cities. But I know say it's a step in the right direction and having captured it under the budget for the first time, it means that government is really committed to doing a lot just to ensure say some of these things, you know, will also improve. So I think say you may be a critic somewhere.
Okay.
Governance, is a human institution and some of these things, but her budget, now her situation, for me, I can say it's positive. And one major thing over the years, and major concern has to do with you see, any value. In the past, na a man for the gold a back almost city. In America, they do this. Even in UK, they use some of this solid money to back
their
currency just to ensure. And now with the establishment of this gold border, government are making a significant allocation of I think $279 million. Gold board be making sure they will go to the ground and be buying gold.
That's right.
From your friend say a man for small scale way or more yeah. Sabaya government now will be doing gold business.
That's right.
Not individuals. So the monies that will be coming, say at the end of the day, official channels, these are the amount of monies you are making. In recent time, I've listened to a lot of people doing propaganda. Say, omo budget license and then as for their party financiers and as for. Let us be reasonable. Alaska. Gold, just like any other essential commodity, like your friends say cocoa.
Like cocoa.
Cocoa won't even sorry and cocoa.
No.
There should be a central pool out of a cocoa board. Gold, no, over the years, you need such a platform.
A new gold board.
You need gold board, you be behind Obiaya the open. And it's a government say or establish a gold board that will be responsible for gold purchasing and as for. It's going to be something like cocoa board. And also making sure say fair pricing and as for will be done. So you may have issues with the individual sitting there, but do not rubbish the establishment of the your friends saying gold board and say your family and friends and I'm for the babeto. It is an institution that is owned by Ghana in the name of the Republic. So the person sitting there may go, another person will come.
That's
so
right.
if you don't like the person sitting there, don't just say oh yakofa more but because let's say in the media recently say Obi say is habijam fiaba na oba beto to gold we man in for licenses and as for it doesn't make sense.
Sir, that propaganda as usual by Ghana for
yes, because in America the gold board purposely established just to ensure say gold na enenam kwan ano no.
That's right.
Well, Alaska adeba ko edi nyan say Ghana a gold hub a nya gold. But because I didn't nya fair pricing. For gold, you need to go through a standardized regulatory processes. Africa, I'm told only one country penalty go through. You need a stamp on your gold. Sabaya at the world market, gold nibenya value. We haven't even gotten there. So this is a step in the right direction. I have that kind of avenues, Now you're making sure say your gold no go through all those proper systems. Sabaya Ghana gold carbon tia. Who stamper a bosso our official you can be regarded as a gold bar that can be kept in any treasury anywhere in the world. I buy you value in as a forum. Alaska, the discussion about the budget near my no, I think that is very reassuring because you see I'm very disappointed if some of these taxes were not removed. You understand? Because at the time Mana President Emeki those promises and he knew what the situation was. But Ghana for instance, this E-levy generated a whole lot of controversy in this
COVID-19.
COVID-19 tax.
Spoken about it.
It's one of the 10 Nyansa Bia Nibisa Onsa Yariaba. Nyansa Niba Yariaba or Casamede Yadiano taxemo. Now, by now, on the JG Obia taxes and Hochirena, not Obeje taxa. How much more the individuals now Yadiano are affected?
But it's serious.
Alaska. So I think that some of these taxes in our air corner, they are not just going, but also at the port. Ports now, Ghana, New York, America, Alaska, or talk at $3,000, now $4,000 now be in Ghana, over to your extra $4,000. Because of some of these taxes. So we need to make a real commitment to the people of this country and make sure, say, some of these taxes, because Okaport Hona, one day made when you have a child, so what person we import duties now a good near Masono. Me deba betan ba kan akire wo hu oyem be hyew and why those items no kosoro. So if you are able to scrape some of these taxes in as for normal Emma businesses akosoro, there are a lot of people who always do a very narrow argument and say na say aban scrap taxes no o man no nya sika.
That's right.
Alaska, we are progressive minded. You should also know say tax scrapping is an incentive, economic incentive. For right. Businesses to boom. Because, for instance, say Obi aircraft spare pass from Bontiamba, na COVID-19 levy edaso. na say we free so a when it comes back to omanuma ono nso no bete neema no so ama Ghana ni nso ho ato no so it has that reverse impact or effect on the economy as well, and that person, you know, will have enough financial freedom to go out there and get whatever that person here for minor. But at the back of all these things, I'm happy for the massive investment that is going to the agriculture sector. Because it's a genuine commitment, I think, that the president has made.
That's right.
So among all the sectors that will be receiving huge boost, you know, agriculture is one of them. And I'm expecting, say, we should not just leave it to the books. The books, keke. Go Alaska. Say you heavily invest in the agriculture sector alone, poultry, rice farming, and any other way near my yakra kwabonte na you make commitments. Say we are incentivizing young people to go into a full-scale farming and as a forma. We can commercialize some of the lands available, making sure say we make dedicated commitment. And there is this young guy, your friend's a poultry farm. Young guy, or no over best 7,000 bears.
That's right.
Alaska, utimi egg or produce in a day, and yard the ketwa. Just imagine government at me put you about 10 young people together. Now I capitalize you more,
right.
Provide them. I know the day, no, you can go into your friends and share basis income, no, you share among yourself.
That's
government
right.
will get a cut. I know the day, Sikana yade cover poultry, and so for import to abano. And so that's it. These are real commitment that government has to make. Rice farming, young people are coming all the way from the north to Kumasi to do kayaye, all because of some of these things.
Na aban enya no ase be hostel amawom.
I'm saying na say aban ya woni miansa na be decide juma.
But Madina maybe hostel amawom.
Na kayaye sa. On kayaye coffee so be because that is what they do. Nyansa be anim Alaska. There are vast land in the north. Government need to make sure that the machinery that are needed to ensure say we incentivize young people to go into farming, you know, after national service. How many people are able to go into the main sector? How many?
That's right.
So post national service, you know, there should be a certain incentive regime. So person you go into poultry farming and as a farmer, these are incentives that are available. And trust me, there are a lot of people who be ready to go into some of these things because I know the day you employ yourself.
That's right.
You capitalize, employ yourself, make sure that you do these things. Government will benefit, though, also be benefited. I know the day, you know, it is the sector that will grow. So for me, if there is any particular sector in this country that has the potential to create job, make sure say we cut down on importing as for agriculture. But it depends on how we go about it and what the level of commitment government ever regarding some of these things. And for me, if we are able to do some of these things, Alaska, trust me, a lot of the problems I face with Chroma say no. Esobeti amagana ni bia ehun atono. Another issue I'm person make has to do SOEs.
Okay.
What it in that?
That's right.
What are the different SOEs?
SOEs.
State-owned enterprises.
Yes. Omo de kache ubia.
Chese. Baby a better say CEO bia no. Omo na o sa
very well.
Open nipa etu omo ka wo kroma ya. Sa institution na CEO.
Omo disi kache ubia.
Nyuma omo ye sabi enkwase adwuma okroma nyansa bia ni mo ebo man na ka eyo sa institutions.
O pe so hu omo bokro no.
Yes.
Can I say?
Alaska. Se me no ka say most of the institution no de car to the sense that say me go there me no there mama tan ka kire cocoa board me ka ho asem.
I know
and Alaska is also interesting. I think that some of the conversations you and I have had on this platform no, most of it were validated in the system. Me ka kire say your first ADB and your first National Investment Bank kadan e dey see ho. And finance minister say you here 2.2 billion to recapitalize these two banks and yes ebegu.
And this is about 3 years ago.
Yes. Sesi amono ka say domestic debt exchange can for that year no. Alaska mature 20 at the 2020 we 7 the next 4 years, you know, government here 150 billion for domestic payment alone.
That's right.
150 billion for domestic debt alone. So you should know clearly say the yete hono enya the kitwa, and Ghana is also resuming its external debt obligation to both external creditors and domestic internal creditors. So I know the day, you know, it's not easy. So some of these institutions like Bank of Ghana for the proposal about said they need 53 million to recapitalize. To attain a positive equity position, you know, they need 53 million. Proposal another. So these institutions, you know, say yamfa kwan bi so anhwe kwan mfa so omo ye omo dwuma. Na ye jai omo saa say they should operate. We wake up a day na ye be hu so omo abo man no. Kwa Alaska wouldn't make a good ECG so.
That's right.
ECG car saying I have the figures here. Let me see if I can get them for you.
FM 92.3.
Say uko your friend saying good. Say see amenoka say IPPs no ya de omoka almost 1.7 billion. I see it among independent power producers at the energy sector. Uko ECG they say na Canada ya de atonwoma to be 68 billion. Cocoa board at the 38 billion. And a road fund na nkasa ye your friend is saying 5.7 billion. BOG here 53 billion to address in a negative equity position. And more William Fisher the same Bank of Ghana na at the center na ode sikanu din semunu print cash and nipa Kenya sasam chena na onti you know.
That's right.
Yes, but ene saa ka ni nyina ba begu Ghana so a ye hwese ye betimi atoto neema. Cocoa board ya ye ka ho asemi. They were supposed to produce cocoa beans. Ya kwaje ho bosia. Alaska, ya the cocoa beans sika 330,000 tons of cocoa. Ya kwaje sika na ba bedi. But ya ntumi produce because in the last 3 years in here cocoa beans na ye produce no ya shortfall by almost 50%.
Ya ji sika dada.
Yes. Because we used to get over 900 almost 1 million tons. But then ya na over by 300 to 400. So which means that you cut it down to over about 50%. Ya kwaji sika, ababedi sika na sano. And this year the new agric minister na wabano, okotua cocoa beans ya de hon ka nti ehia 300,000 tons to go and service. And sana ya baba he de ye beye. And ya kasa Ghana economy ni messia. Enya agudie, enya nyomto, enya politics, enya way. But in America, you cannot just go out there and tell people say problem near. People are not interested. Because in the last 8 years, problem no be any. What Ghanaians want a solution, and I think say what has been provided so far in the budget, you know, I give you certain signals of hope, even though it doesn't solve all the problems at a go. But I think say it give you certain signs of hope. Say near cost to us say yeah, things will get better, and there are a lot of people who are started bashing and insulting government about some of the decisions and then as a forum. Alaska, at the early stage like this, you know, and your magic.
That's right.
And yeah, they are called open sesame, then things will restore and your friends resolve. Recovery, journey to recovery, you know, are very painful and very contracted. So it will take a government that is so focused and so committed to his your friends objective, and then some of our culture Ghana for to be able to pull. So for me, I think that so far so good with this particular budget. Even though we are the early stages of it, we will have to maybe a Friday bedroom. No,
that's right.
Near time to go through the annals and the details of this. But from the synopsis and what I have read so far, some of the dedication, the commitment that President has so far made, you know, I think that most of the promises, you know, most of them have been kept. And the major one has to do with taxes in Ghana for share anymore.
That's right.
Because before budget, you know, finance minister engaged a lot of young people and as for now obia concern has to do with the taxes.
That's right.
Because now a lot of financial analysts and economists were arguing say because we are under IMF program and as for but with this realignment where government has proven sufficiently say we can survive as a country. All that we have to do is prudent financial management. Not your expenditure over the years, above the sky, you know. You making sure say you control, not excessive borrowing. Now you taste for. Nyansa be any sikana ba. Near the party will club no. Ye kate and those enterprises in Alaska. Yes, sika. And one of the major decisions that has been taken, this Savannah Development Authority,
that's right.
Those authorities na say budgetary allocation to them kafu ubisa almost a no more
that's right.
Nothing sensible. So some of these monies, you know, we can realign them, channel them to other productive areas. And trust me, the whole essence and the focus is to ensure that Ghana need about relief. That is the whole essence of this thing.
Right.
But the Ghana for are happy about the tax scrapping and as a form. I think that's okay. The next thing is to ensure that job opportunities and other things are created for young people to have something to do. And for me, by Friday we'll go through the entire budget and we'll be able to pinpoint some of the key highlights in our way, what to do.
I'll say Ivan Kyei Innocent now telling. This takes us to 20 minutes into 4 p.m. Me home but me bar. You call Honorable Stephen Kweho. Still on the budget. Now me bar. Phyllis Ofosukwachi the we be about to summarize it. You heard the various sectors programs any allocation specific allocation and or the Emma one.
Previous administration almost the common fund the cabaret almost ya into ko yan honoma project bia no e kwaso almost me nya hwe besine almost ba 8 years no almost nya hwe enne fi assembly common fund 7.51 million Ghana cedis allocation which you say wo me come as him say one hwe ni year ni e ko no 2 years time no MPP aban party no
okay
ebegu o
sir
ho me see ebegu because we allocations are you
now so na ka me no mo country.
That's right.
And I say MMDs now so na ka me no mo me catch road fund a car road fund at the 5.7 billion
NHIS
good and sa ade we asia campaign nti sika na ese bam no kra no ye de gu baabi e man ho and this sia me no ka say road fund has been uncapped as sika bia ye yama ka say ba road fund no directly no bam ababa ye adwuma ese eye and everma Ghana for atomo and then with this establishment of this women bank na or kind of 51.3 million no I think there is also one promise aban kan ye wa promise yes it's debatable as to whether it's necessary for us to establish a bank or not but because of making that promises it is very important you deliver on that particular promise.
That's right.
And with this allocation how committed the president is in making sure say obe making that avenue for women because I just say emanya bibia you serve society.
That's
what
right.
I say. And I think that with that particular thing so no eba na go through all the standardized processes na se for be making sure say sika nkofa ba bia na that bank will be sustainable na be ya adwuma improve the economy. Why will anybody kick against it? I think that it will be positive. And again dam spillage na e course so we be say eduru abi na ye politics asika the people over there e deal me hu abrante bi a wa ye poultry farm Alaska ne nkoko nyina tensu ani kokwa brane share that so okobie nsu agu nipa so
but the people very serious.
Yes, young guy or no your poultry farm no order sorry and na nkoko ni nyina tetensu ani
Eso bi TV o he na nam na ehwe
na ohene kra tensu ani usi TV ya say ohene bi tensu ani o ko hwehwe de be 3 days and so no mu hu no ne chene ni we nyina akọ Alaska I think that is very very important say we have to find a way to compensate these people and make sure say you return them to post disaster your friend a pre-disaster state because auto no bi no mu bibidi omo adwuma una ko bi nso gu omo so they deserve some level of compensation as for them enti aban allocated 242 million no I think say ye fair in the disbursement na ye hu nipa indeed omo ho kan ye na ye address here I think say those things you should be able to take care of the people and again no wonder they see this tidal wave a specific amount of money has also been you see Adiana President Mahama also chere how concerned and how close he want to get to the people.
That's right.
In the past near to Ghana for president fan na campus will go close to even look at what is happening. Because yet your mind nipa timiwu disaster timisima nipa wu the president in the first place will not even go there.
That's right.
He will not even talk about it. And he will not even make specific allocations. So I know the day, I question your group president or not the baby in a citizens on baby. But when we begin to do these things on the 6th Independence Day, I'm Jubilee House.
Okay.
I attended the program. You see, the program was so brief because the president immediately after Wayne was going to Volta region to go and see the victims. That is what presidency and leadership is about.
Immediately after
me bafie I met Ibrahim Mahama not take care man na or so those
or driver no.
No, it's not true. Alaska, you see, I think that the propaganda is getting nasty.
Okay.
I can say on authority, say I was in a car and we met Ibrahim at airport way.
Okay.
He stopped for 1 minute and spoke to us. Okay. He spoke to us for 1 minute. No catcher and say he's going to Volta region. So Ibrahim and President Mahama, they didn't even move together.
You see?
And to create impressions on a driver from Accra to Volta region is not true. Me say Ibrahim and President Mahama didn't go together. I met him at the airport, so in a traffic.
That's right.
He spoke to us for almost 1 minute. And now what they are going to do there. So they didn't go together. So how come he drove him?
Wow.
Ebia omokoduru hono na within the town na eno na major drive bia, but here no Ibrahim Mahama went alone in his black Benz Mercedes. Emu no tena de call he drove alone all the way to the place. Other Mahama didn't go together. So how come on not drive on? So I think some of this nasty silly propaganda no, sometimes you just have to eschew it and look at the real issues in that for them.
Right.
Yeah, so Alaska things there. With this allocation to the people there, no, it's also very important. And I think one thing you should continue on say when disaster it will be Ghana niwa maniemua, the president should be available. Be there for the people. Sometimes it's not about sika, so it's being present and be endearing yourself to the people. Say, I'm your leader. I share your pain. I'm here with you. And that is what leadership is about. No leader or not to be your friends saying, boy, you American friends, George Floyd.
That's right.
Oh, I know what you are or Ghana.
No, you different.
You couldn't power touch my but my need to even Twitter crowd to go and write something. No, Ogu Independence Square, Nasi, Jubilee House, Ogu. Now I had the economy or you be a sub with me a super reflection. Over who said, they are why in the last 8 years because some of these things you could have done it. Some of this major decision you could have done it, but he didn't care, and he didn't get good people around him to advise him to come down from his high horses and so forth. So Alaska, things are so far so good. Let's look at the way things will go, and in the next 1 year, no, if we come back to review what government has done now, we'll be able to at this early stage. You see, you can't make it a business. Say, oh. Every step will be baby. I know why because we have some of the near my cost of social media and I say 2-9 na men criticize you. 2-9 na men criticize you.
That's right.
But there's a new government has taken over. At least certain space to do or call wronger. Nobody is saying say don't talk. Because Ghana ni idea. Everybody has a right to comment. But any chin say I don't know wrong cry. You want to just it doesn't. I thought that you lose credibility and people will not take you serious.
Right. I'm saying 4:45 p.m. It's still live on the radio. Mamin kinka me message kakra na fe membra. Dr. Delasi Edwin Fitefle our South Tongue do the buy. Was that last come down say wo and one ma sebi menya appetite say a metie radio. In fact, ene one ma mani aje. Na ene wama mehu se me ya Ghana ni na fempo no ene ehu se John Dramani mama edi onuado have van esamba rural areas yada na se po se ano mehu se nipa aba wo man Ghana oba bebu Ghana na first ni de na de ehu de na enye nipa o se yenda Ghana fo nyina se omo mutumi bo modin epamo sa aboni we efi yenso ana odi yenso Dr. Delasi dia odi aba eno no na mamimfa we so see your friend Andy odi we fi Croatia say o see MPP omo ye scam o see ene former finance minister Ami Adam ka kire say omo implement eye betting tax omanji tax bia no etwose nkrofo we
Amanfo di better. Without withholding tax and not motete no so as can economy na papa.
That's mama yentie.
Some of this nonsense I think they should just cut it.
Mama yentie we be say enokre a
that I am proposing to implement in 2025 will give us the fiscal space to eliminate some taxes such as the proposed VAT on electricity if they are still on the books, the emissions tax and the betting tax without compromising
Ja tie asum kra adwen.
Reason to my boy when they say tie Dr. Bawumia, just listen to him on the taxes and also promises about be if you tie.
The new policies that I am proposing to implement in 2025 will give us the fiscal space to eliminate some taxes such as the proposed VAT on electricity if they are still on the books, the emissions tax and the betting tax without compromising.
The funny thing is that and Afenyo Markin and Co went out there and campaigned on the fact that I'm scrappy. And now I'm scrappy the same person to parliament.
I know to what say I'm fine. And the only you know, I've also there. Was it the omote say about obey if you honor?
Sisi ano ati omutu. We have to investigate ati omutu.
At your form room, Nafi young wrap up. At your form room.
Now we had the minority press conference now. Or more a year no so.
Yeah, they come and mention what here for. La menka said, so her budget na bana. Na expectations are very high because na Ghana for a new watch and this is a new government. So her said the about for a course or a chrome has say now her said the Nema a at the idea clearly you realize now I'm for any that so things will happen and at the back of that and now I'm for a share budget by that is the biggest statement buying a day bar so far as this whole government is concerned. About first budget, na Ghana for a share ni mu the EBP a free budget to the maba. Proud to that, and don't forget, Abrana campaign time no cost no promises be brave, of course, so Kroma say. And you about this betting a whole brouhaha, creating a whole lot of conversation in this country. Now, Nipa be share the muse say I say obey betting taxes and several other taxes and everywhere. The revenue whole now, EBP, how are they going to plug some of these things? Now, a lot of conversation now among for heard the mu Kroma say and. Ebeda didn't know budget in the Babon, I think say all those concerns have been addressed that and Yababe drew a pointer e-levy, betting tax, emission tax, COVID tax and several other taxes ye can't want some nina say a nihobium and oh her kwanya a fast what a see that is one thing I think say about government abaso the way a manner fast because what now you clearly you see says deep thought be went into this whole thing because it's not as if the government who new revenue source be what plug it in but just a matter of just uncapping and realigning resources are for instance a bit to say free SHS. The major concern has always been a guarantee, not set source of funding, but a guaranteed and assured source of funding. No, you will not have to do we better say papa but this is guaranteed source of funding. But I think the way they did it in the next 10 years, you will be assured say now the free SHS has an assured and a guaranteed source of funding, and that has to do with uncapping get fund. The get fund, over the years, my culture said you could see come apart from say a cap, cap sikani that could central pool in the end sikanu hunyans are the so uncapping the get fund alone, our government the action bond we na that's I absorb that particular debt where you free and I was uncap it. The uncapping will bring 4.1 billion. You need 3.5 to pay for free SHS. Yes, so there is extra cash those who pay for free tertiary for Nipa with your friends saying disability and so forth. You see, this is a smart way of doing things. I think it's one of the things I give you that particular way in the next 4 or 5 years or 10 years, and we know that the free SHS has a certain guaranteed source of funding. We will not have to do anything stress here and several other so for instance with this betting tax and as far you can once a So we had another strategy that was employed in addressing this particular challenge. For me, I think that is the best, because with this Revenue Administration Act at the same government at the COP, in Parliament in 2016, and Sana buying will be free, so no. And now all seeking to put 6% of all revenue in a friend saying GRA that tax reserve account. I be service amount for our multi tax in excess in as a form. For the past 8 years, it is money no generating over 26 billion. 26 billion, I'm told just 43% per. And we use to pay to do tax refund. The rest of the scan Sikani nyina na uhwehwa wo but you see another strategy odinya sikane say that particular 6% no we cut it down to 4%. So we need that is extra 2%. 2% in a year no will generate 3.8 billion. That 3.8 billion no cover both e-levy and the betting tax. Because betting tax, you know, the first time now we introducing August 2023 and it generated 53.1, I think it's a million. The following year, which is 2024, was around I think 147 in the budget, you know. So no kaboma is somewhere around 2.2 billion. And you are having extra cash of 3.8 billion. Sasika no bi no yi ya odi kutu assemblyman for ka. Sasika no bi no monitor pad ediama school for. Sasika no bi no monitor textbooks na so for. So you see say so what's not so by name ya. You don't have to stress yourself. It's just a matter of thinking and being smart. And I think these are some of the things that finance minister Timia ya yenyan ko ba bia nkopa bibia maaye no atimi aboa some of these your friends saying sika na oka say on buy some of these projects. Now you know say there is a dedicated source of funding for some of these projects. But you see, we are talking about betting taxes that have been removed. But yeah, I think that we are losing picture on certain things that are very crucial. One has to do with debt. Our state institutions for instance, the state-owned enterprises, Cocoa Board, then as a form, ECG, then as a form, Cocoa Board at the cut 32 billion, ECG 68 billion, yeah, the IPP is cut $1.7 billion in all cities, Road Fund at the cut 5.7 billion. These are a car, a good or minus so. And there's a court controlling accountant general. Arrears are payable time, so say you cry somewhere around 65.7 billion. Says you cannot confirm free. And very interesting now, I never remember me shame and say among 40 various districts in Nasa Forum. Am I contract? A contract to a tune of about 194 billion. With that commencement certificate too. They expected the finance minister to pay that particular amount of money. No, is almost 95% of entire revenue. A year market for the year. So you see, it's a very dangerous kind of idea. Yet so, and Cecilia Monoka say Bank of Ghana is asking for 53 billion to recapitalize for a bailout. And yes, sir, and they have a negative equity. More they run the operations there. It means more liabilities not outrun all the asset that they have. This is Bank of Ghana. As any other country, be an private way and can file for bankruptcy and can also. But Obi sounds again this year. Yet Kroma Addison. This is an institution and not here in charge of monetary policies in Nasa Forum. Or no, and or file for bankruptcy in the state, no. But ye nya sika de kosi edan a besi na obu ho akontan kra odwe ne ho ayenye print sika at some point in time Bank of Ghana abadan printing press had a print sika to finance reckless expenditure of government and ye. So I think that in as much as we are focusing on some of these betting near my incentive creating job opportunities and various programs are buying here while line sika to no I think that we also need to look at the other sector. But never come here me has to do with agriculture sector. For the last time I don't have a conversation, I was expecting say per sector be a go massive boost agriculture. But the money earmark for agriculture is some paltry amount. I don't know whether the major projects and the other way now ever are buying every year through how they acquire other institutions. Because I believe say if there is any sector I bet me am a year who free baby as agriculture sector. I will be telling the government need to incentivize young people to go into a large scale mechanized farming. rice production, poultry, and those kind of stuff. I understand government has a specific initiative for this. Yes, but you see, I think that agri sector now that boost, or bring some of these things to forward a bit. Making sure say we produce what we are. Now yankofa over 240 other countries here import rice and as a I think these are some of the ingenuity we need to just sink into the whole operation. Sabaya able to put this whole country on course. Now mine let me run it. The mistakes of the past, you can't repeat them. Yeah. And Ghana will not forgive government. So we need to chart a new way of making sure say and to me up put the economy on the right track, and by doing so near my import from a bontin bebrebe you ever find crime be so near manufacture ye be Kroma say. For instance, the last time I was telling you say Kroma why they need tomato Accra say. Yeah. So just imagine how we see tomato factory Kroma now we cut it down importer. Sika be na wunya, adwuma be na won to be create. You see, these are smart ways. For instance, rice farming. Amount of money e dey kwa bonte quarter rice ba kroma say no, enye sika ketua. So if we were to cut down on some of these things, poultry. I know individual young people who are into poultry. One person over 7,000 birds in as for them. How do we do in such a way that government can even go into some kind of partnership with a lot of the young people coming out of school? Sabaya, about 5 people and as bet me come as a group. No, or more air around some of these poultry farms and as a form. I bet to me, I boost the economy to a certain extent. So I think there's here too, and you call agri sector. Now you're making sure that investment in the agri sector, because that is the only way we can improve on this particular economy. So on the budget, I think so far so good. I may not have enough this thing to say, but I think it's on track because the promises that were made to the people of this country, it's like I buy need these taxes and through. Trust me, because all canons are not what they were going to do. So I think I buying crossing on how much more the average and the ordinary Ghanaian. For instance, this levy, because any tax regime, I'm sure it should be underpinned by a rigorous economic transactions. So out of the profits, that is what you tax the people. But the e-levy, me business, my sika from a bank to my wallet, you bet me wallet to a event says Sikano Babon, you bet me. It doesn't make any sense. And we are talking about a government that at some point in time was preaching cashless society. Yeah. We want to push the event says shift to soft money. Now soft money now there's these taxes in as for Obama. How do you expect people to, some of these things? So I think that these are smart ways of ensuring that things will work. And so far so good. I think that things are on track. We just need to follow it and see how to play out.
2 minutes for minority and also enough.
Oh, I mean, Adam, there are things that baby Hano. So I'm sure we don't even need to waste time on it because he's a betting tax and almost on 1 year. Until I'm for debate at the Mojano, and I'm in an orgy and a papa and orgy. You see, these are, sometimes politics, we don't need to sink it so low. Sabaya, I'm for taking it serious. You see, you may be in opposition. You must be critical. You have the right. But you see, we've done our politics in such a way. Say, I didn't because I'm in opposition. I just have to find something negative about it. Sometimes some of these things and result in some of these useless comments because Obia himself. This particular bet, has been an activation for, and the amount of money we are mentioning. Yeah. There are figures out there to bat. So how dare you go out there and say, now we're in some phone and now I'm scan and I say why not. So I think that some of these things should be disregarded. You see, we are on a course to build a country, irrespective. And country now you're building, it will take the collective might of us all, irrespective of how you stand across the political divide. NDC, MPP, yellow, green, whoever. So we need to find a way to enlist the collective might of all. You have every right to criticize and as well. But with this bet here through, Kroma was sitting on TV saying a whole lot of nasty stuff. But the same government was telling us you live in the other bet and they were going to take it away. So what is your problem? And they are not just removing some of the taxes. They've been able to plug the holes by realigning some of these resources. For instance, this Revenue Administration Act and a couple about 66% of all revenue. We had about 36 billion sitting in the account. I can move in a special prosecutor chicken for that form because that particular money is just 43% per and we use to reimburse individuals or pay extra taxes. The rest of the money no anything. gone waste. And somebody about Hunyans said, let me cut it to 4%. Now we use it to finance a lot of the projects here. What is your problem? Because the amount of money we are getting from that 2%, is bigger than the entire e-levy and then the betting tax. So it's not as if we're creating a hole. There is a smart way we're creating just to ensure that these holes are filled. So what is this whole hula baloo about? Now you implement it. I think we need to just disregard these things.
Solo?
Yeah. That's the woman is
another books you do.
Say, see a church comfort budget a year or share some of the year to Viviano.
Yeah.
Obama, the finance minister, Edia Kutuga. After morning, Sika, you see a baby. And you might be, and one finance minister, Ecoye. To actually, Safimui, I fear women.
Yeah.
Yame Abdominas and Kofo Makoso. Mudi, or yet Mutua. I feel you 223.
Yeah, 223.
Anna Yehu and MCBD 269 billion.
Deficit
43 million. Say Ghana and India, the Chinokotobu. 43 billion. The question is Ibiniano. The Wakwela La Sulala say Ekojima. Now, say, Dipana Duman Kosune, 23 billion now.
Yeah.
It means I was here, Sakwaji to anti deficit required to be free.
43.
And it's years you say you pay Chesicani year, Ebia Crana, your one.
Yeah.
And then a ma, whom has a gun and Ibiano, also born money. Now, your boy gun and Ibia, you must on the cost.
Ultimately, at all.
Timmy, Abambia about Gugana for me one as I want to Amemoise. As a Nina saw the Geo money in Ghana for Nagata.
Yeah.
Or mine, Yeska, Omunjato. Would you pay as you end? Would you be VAT? You won't drink PB? Would you talk insurance? A baby also, I do my dear, dear Shannon son. Constitution were beautiful. Now, the Paboniti Nayana to me, and the Lord call Article 36. We are Utibiano. Most sorry, I'm got MPs in ministers for Palmochon. You don't have to do that. I'm not so small. The state shall take all necessary action to ensure that the national economy is managed in such a way and manner as to maximize the rate of economic development and to secure the maximum welfare, freedom, and happiness. And happiness. And every person in Ghana.
Okay.
And to provide adequate means of livelihood. And into my penny, Mamma, or Chono. Maybe so I'm many years.
You look as an energy.
Who are you? I was so many. Now, Obama Maniagia, Ejina budget to Noah. Why?
Okay.
And the better said, Yenibadi and I said, Yanindi. And empty budget, now it has a Mosidia. Resetting the economy for the Ghana we want. Ghana Ben Yepe. Ghana yepa ne se beda sorry ye betimye yensu na ababobobobo adenta 40 omo etimi am yensu manyina no ansa na ne ni beji no pese nsu enfan tap ade Ghana ne yepa se ya kwan nyina eye papa Ghana ben yepa Ghana obebu ni wie school a oyoba onkoton no ho ema be ma bi ansa na wanya adwuma oye be ma Obenanti sa di sokuta bet. Ene Ghana yepe no. Ghana yepe ne se enyoma bo ewo fo. Edan ka. So edan asade edan no ene bi di bo no edan we ti sa da ka.
Ko bi ana manakwa so ni di o.
Ka bi di di etu ka da da. Edan bo mangofo dwani firi ye nkropon mu. Ghana yepe ne se edan bo ebe ko fo. Ghana yepe ne se Ohia so beti. Ohia eso beti. Na Ghana yesa pe kura etwa yesen kura de etwa ma wo twa nsunu me ne Ghana. Ghana mse enimu a yesa yensas. Eno tina de na ye hwe enimu se budget ni. Nhyehyɛ de ba be boa ya no. Eno ana makeka tru. Finance minister chairman Mamenka said, Abano etumi actually be said, unlike previously, so Osheboa also this one. Omami Trimpo be some person with the bona almost share your campaign. They can't say because in some now, that's where Sadaka in this.
Say, I did a budget not to me. Yeah.
And I get to crown was a can my blue hound to me. So,
no, correct.
Go budget here, estimates.
Yeah.
Was about a cable, no go ahead and estimate for the year's GDP. No more target 3.1.
Yeah.
But if you know when 5.7. So,
yeah.
Maybe also a normal deficit almost so many 4.2. Then you could use 7.9. Into a budget to what can I not just say? Sammy Baby. Yeah, baby. Underpinning every budget here. Idea economics for the kind of say all things being Korea since we began your pedal. Ila bitas, Omakaso be ye flow. Yeah. Omachiro with him so be yes, as also the Braco. Then a sacred ye flow. Betting tax, Omachiro be ye flow, almost a book. Yeah. Anna almost be ye flow. And the person was a bona with this. Corporate tax, Omunian flow. Compound calculation of VAT, Omunian flow. And we say a continual task, a task force. As our task force, we disagree some confinement in the phone. Okay. I'm on phone call phone you come here. You make a need to make a high between add it 1 to a free show. The end is a boy. Okay. Now, various allocations now on the core ministries. To say free SHS education, free SHS 3.5. Yeah. Say financiers are most of more financial political parties. Say man go you me. Namu jamu mampeni etumi ejina ne national wakase aduane a ye de ma free SHS for no yenko kra mu mfira ma no ne emum local farmers ne beto afiri wo mo a o man be kono ni. Okay. Textbooks are most model about 570 million kwa print no ye kire he ye new town go for machines wa o makọ kraba enye bibia na mfaso bumu ntino ye ko China akofa ye ko India akofa new town for no ho. Okay. Men am this kama ka party no njiro chenchira yanko fanframa no edu na ma ye sika no ye sidi no na ho de nye den enyina so mo cheche ma mo kakra kranya ni baba kram ya ma no okokuma ase asafo ni ayi obi printing presses bugre ho takra de ba bia bi obi an cheche ma so obi aso obi anya bi no mo ya o be ba nyumen ma fa ni pa o de ko China ni India o ma wo no mu nyuma ho today bit me aye wo Ghana ha na ye nya wo ha na ye mo mai mo bunwem. Okay. So yes. Yeah. And on chimeno and on idea be so nkwa any all the other sectors so e bi sika ko bia mo hwese Ghana for no and be djuma no djuma de ye no anko ade a mo ma Ghana ni nye de onye etos bio 24-hour economy ne de o msi ye trash do na e wo se o mo mani breso. It's answer a major campaign policy. From Castle Motuashada. Budget was more policy.
Policy implementation.
You trust that.
And two shed.
I mean, yes, sure, says I'm a chill solo.
Two shed.
Oh, God, you trust that they are not saying, yeah, muscle.
No, muscle, budget, you have the policy to buy. Yeah, trust that. Sabi that Chica said, now you can treat me. Yakasi etu adi aseda ebetu ese chira no de ba die etu aseda ano de wa moso ti me kai wo mo se kai no wo tu se da na se wo fi se ye ni ewura fi se mo
me do ya adwe
onyere no ho na on famra ade bi ti se and Ivan Kyei is so dangerous ma my say tonaton e den ye kotokoko se wa koton ni amoka se ko body katati to be e ye den ya sa de ntutu aso ana ya wi ayesika gofo etitie asisi amronsa cantonments ya aka ama mo maka kire ya niam se omo ye smart mo ba ya oro ama ye bi mo tete ho ana ken wura tati American wo su national security wo si wo bia e na bi kase me kro nya oba be su me be so ready to meet you and gofo for mine sika ya wasa o muslim abeka kire se toilet koko no obi enu o ye koko kwani a otumi di ni koko kwa amano ne je tie bia o so de ba beton ma ban na ban so akoton no amana ne nya safu na okọ no beto o mo to dada ye di sa adwa ya boka sa company ni si ho ye nchi mu ni pa mu obia edigi nom e chele okurum ha
e fatan
Electricity Company of Ghana, yet to be a sika mamma, and the auto prepaid, Usika or ECG, as a time of pen of the light amount, or also so a dig up of 68 billion.
Yeah.
Now, what you want, sounds a movie. Almost former chief executive board for the United Namo, and I was almost granting to almost as I said, to be running business. Yan crack ya bra ban business what na ranya bokasa yi esa so wa no kasa eni so kasa bi ADB Agricultural Development Bank useless bank take it for me
egu
bank house abu bo
say kokushin o mu ya de sika kokushin
mo sa 2 billion ko
eni na bi
mo ko cheni ADB ma besia o mo de ko akoto Enioma wo China, Malaysia. Bank in India say
ADB Agricultural Development Bank.
If you afford to call no one, who any munyansa mo de jo. Akwaya connection, sa bank no, any a bank bia, aban bia beba so, select a free house akwa ye ma loan da. We are crazy as a nation. Let me call hoda, timini wamu. And I'm also on go no to free jubilee house, you must be sick.
Now don't you Ghana ni?
Now all I'm giving that you are not serious. You don't deserve to be a bank. You must clear off. Maybe Baba Penny on the strength of my own business and my balance sheet, you know. May come out or be on one year business that by virtue of politics. To jubilee as the bet said ye maniska. And this bank the would go see my to go see koda. All the state-owned enterprises were section 2. A camp one of them. Yabakoswa ama mabukana. Ekabem because under no circumstance edena bedio abamba ya na ye the politician kwa kotan. Enye bibia ye politics. It is for a reason. Because the moment I the politician kwa kotan oba odi engofo no mo ye politics ne ka.
Yeah.
Me nyina na ye campaign. O da je. Tonto akwa ye minimum baba so wi achale. Shemamia, difficult so because
baby.
So the neutral for no ekotiro no manage ade ni na aboa yi ni. Anyway. Koko sika oma pediso peso so sibia na ho odi nkofo. O peso so anu a koko na ye di dollar kotoro nyai.
Na president.
Eya de ye kwa kotoko kwa free pia 4 cities. Mo sore afibia mo se makwa kobo bisia syndicated loans. E wa mano ne chop kro no nti. Na mo de akọji dollar ba be she ye kon arrange feed odi eni mo na je ne share obi a je ne share ye kotoko ni wi a ya sa akoto abra ye betuna raise cd bonds ala se treasury ha ye de akotoko no ye de akọji dollar engushi ye yi
all right
mesra o mo galamsey no se rain fee chesi akọ forest na ndc for na replace mp before no
no sata no anuam yakwache dumo
wanti o bla so dum wanpe tene wo mi eni mo ye bushafo ms feedback no abu shemu o mu tu chase mo nti so dogo bi nwabe o mu tu inform gra o am se o mo nya aka so mbese gala no mbese no sa no mo ashebo na ye wa mp a ne mamufo abane na abane so no mo twa de su mp ni ti ho o je sa se no I win MP as na make your friends the bondi man.
Nko fa na aitwa na su.
O ma gu sakra gu so say. One na say won sase. Was a national security taking interest na no got here speaker say o investigate. Speaker o investigate galam say. Who galam say who say dey go to class here. Oh, san you mo we be na assure Ghana for say they already say be ko ade friend galam say. And can we a fine case.
Now the na no me chairman adwene si NDC chairman owo evaluate adwamoro dwura say constituency ya mfancha medin no wa evaluate adwamoro dwura constituency NDC chairman no ono say na ban na aba power say concession wa take
can you imagine
no dey yiri edin ashe MMDC list so
to okoje no akutu
o je ni yiri ne koye MCNS
na say o say ye o mu betu na me ma constituency wa kwa demonstration da But maybe organize your demonstration. Because this current lands and natural resource minister, more than other places, only dealing with Galamsey in his own constituency. If he succeeds, that's the end.
Okay.
Because on one who know Galamsey the cost daily.
Serious.
Yes, I am my year fast track year war as so. And yet, pampa one. Okay. And it's budget in a year. Or more, like I say, if you want to be wedding, yeah, offer 1 to 1 more.
Okay.
Now, a better than you're not going to forget to be Bible verses.
I know Jackson say no pen wine in any angle.
And I say, one time to Bible, be our Bunya Media from Kwa. Alright, the more fun as a MPP, my country will say, a state of confusion.
Okay.
She won't coalition use sound.
The busy damo, what in a good.
And Tibi Casa, or the would you walk? Now, me check you could do a pump. I want to be Anna. Young man, your time position information was a one channel once ago monumental project. Oh, yeah, but Jackas could do. Who got radio show now? Present our car, refuse our couple of fun with me. Jeremy, I did back up Ministry of West Housing. A young monumental, and so wouldn't you want to say a casa could do Ponkuma? When you didn't service with Neil. Oh, mommy, I did back up information ministry.
Neil.
But we are now because as a Ghana now. Yeah. They should be serious in life. And
the person is a fool. Oh, man, sir, Oko school now a classmate me boy. Besides class 1, I wouldn't be one natural to so much me.
That's right.
But Omunya, your mother so say. Me boy. So when you know it doesn't mean say Jimmy no call. So naturally there are people who are not smart.
Exactly.
And in Nipa only nyansa na wadi 25 years. And you think you can use 6 months to train that person and give him a gun. One kasano wuna wini myansa. You can't train a fool in 6 months and arm him with a gun. These are basic principles of life.
When we say issues before election, by almost a year to election, this same way.
Yes.
You are discussing.
Yes, I told you. So you can arming, and the most dangerous thing to do is to arm a fool with gun.
Yes. What do you expect?
Happy, trigger happy. Any least confrontation. Yes. You're funny, funny.
Because about gangsterism.
Yes, and that is what I don't like about Dampare. Sansem Lucia, a Deben away as an IGP. Nothing. Alaska, we are not living in a banana republic. Do you know a number of people say people don't talk about it because they went to social media and posted something. Nipa yira to sem koko. Abrante Omokofa and look at the ordeals he went through. If Ghana is any serious country,
the bongo idea.
Yes. Yeah. And some na boy no narrate no. You may not like him. You may not like his style and as a forum. But Alaska bisa won say when na kofa no be see you and I we don't know. The police in your no, national security in your no. When in the jobs of providing security. And several other staff, Alaska. So I think police now can here overhaul. It's not about Dampare. For me, it is not about Dampare. It's not about new IGP.
We are not dealing with. We are not dealing with somebody.
No. I'm not.
We are dealing with the institution.
Yes.
We are not coming to the institution.
That is what I'm saying. Sir. The issue Dampare you who nasi for no cry. They are inconsequential to the discussion we're having here. There must be a dedication. Some effort. Say overhauling police, new training, manuals, then as a form, everything has to change. You understand? Now you say police in Nipan Roma level of qualification here, training in Nipano community, and the training encompasses all aspects of security, including bioterrorism, cyber terrorism, every aspect. Now Alaska, obi a training police school aba. WhatsApp crime no nim say send a message not in the police or the ambassador send it. But now most of the crimes no cause online in IT. Training no call
let me ask you, were you happy say Dampare is removed?
Oh, I'm okay with that. Because for me
the same question will come
to
yes.
You. Oh no. Yes, Alaska.
No, the same question will come to you.
Oh, I answer yes to that. And Alaska it's not personal. We are not personalizing it. Maybe issue with Dampare has to do with Nipa Yekuo mo Chrome ha. He didn't do anything about it, including on police officers. I actually almost say, no mu lead bullion van attacks. I don't go police way. You could you much kuku.
About Tiwe Mami, where your police barracks back with you.
At long last, the joy is all over. The joy is everywhere. We are going to win from our heart. Oh, Ghana, the security is in our hand, and this is what we have been ending and praying for. We thank God. We thank God for that. For listening to our President Obama. God bless you. We have really listened to our prayers. Hey, freedom forever. Freedom forever. You can see the jubilant. Everybody's jubilant. Hey, police. Look at the jubilant from everywhere. Everybody's happy. Oh, at long last. At long last. At long last.
We no almost be break, Papa.
Most of them are not 8 years old in the Ghana Police Service.
Wow.
Check on background. Most of them will not be 8 years old in the Ghana Police Service. You go back and check. Because no serious trained police officer, no matter how unhappy
you are,
you never come out in the public domain
and do video.
No.
Once
Right.
we have life, that is the most important thing. Alaska, that be a catcher. And yeah, that's sorry. I think one news I take you over the media airwaves. At was from and run, you be seen there has to do with IGP. Yes. Some ya terminating will be for
Tete Yohuno
Christian. Yeah, Yohuno.
And that's a wukra de dini Yohuno. Yohuno ni say Obakuno. Yo, I walk dangwe ofi shayo sudoku. Ofi mi ho.
Oh, okay.
Enti when I medium. Enti yo. Ayo ba.
And that's a friend also by Jens.
Every day, that be means
so I think you see that be American a Jumana ya the mouse say yeah na a man for a budget so there is this euphoria near Nigen as a foreign Alaska. Yeah, you will be a free hodu be a banner. So who's at this one at this one?
That's right.
The be American be I don't see the reason why being appointment a year jubilation.
But actually, why is it that the police service in Akasa Mrantani jubilate?
Yes, I know there was a Obiane said you see who Nema. Personally, me, I met her on this particular platform. I have said a lot about Dampare.
Exactly.
How are not in as much as a man for Prisino, for reforms, whatever. No, me, there were key issues and I measure. And any of these issues, I was never satisfied with the way a man and Niema. So decision like this, now I knew say a bad day, now it was just a matter of time. So on one case, I'm not sure say he's surprised. But Alaska, before this, there was a committee that was set up.
Very well.
And review Niema, and sometimes if you listen to some of the things they found out now, it was very shocking. Then as for but some of these things are not for public consumption, you know. Sometimes so I think the decision, you know, and yet trust I can say president take his decision. But you let me I think that we will delve into, especially in recent times, the acoso with police shooting, killing individuals. Then as a form a bar, you don't actually see anything. Then as a form, so people were actually worried, and within the police service in Ankasa, they have their own problems. So, if there is one person or by IGP among on one Kasa ni colleagues, you know, I'm more ganging up against him. No more penny mana or ya na Dampare.
Very well.
It's the reason why yesterday I wasn't surprised when I saw some of the police barracks in Ebinumoniaje, Ebinum Sowiraho, depending on any party as Obia or more clicky. Na Obia or more on no more way. There are those who will be happy for you. Thereby, so there are sessions within almost when you're happy. And those things they are normal. So when I see some of these things, but I think we will delve into some of the things I mean we need over the years. Clouded the police administration.
Okay, room.
Yes, Alaska. So like my main concern, my culture said there are a lot of people my expressing concern about president having power to appoint or your friends say terminate.
Good.
Security couples
or disappoint.
No, we don't know. I say appointed or disappointed. That part of we say disappointed. No. So either you are appointed or disappointed. Fine, that's okay. And there has been a lot of discussion around it. Say as to whether said that prerogative, that power, no, you take it away from the president. Now you mad the police service and ankasa hierarchy na ankasa no and choose the leadership na say for. That is the conversation we can start. But as it stands now, the constitution empower the president to appoint these security heads. So until say we do that constitutional arrangement, you know.
So the power
president,
resides in the president.
Exactly. So you can't begrudge him. And I know the day he's the person that was taking over the mantle to run the affairs of the country. And let's go be about the security objective, the strategy and the plans. So you try to identify individuals within the security setup, no, to realize that particular vision. And into the constitutional framework, you thought it wise. And when it comes to issues of security, they are very pertinent and very essential. You can't joke with them. That is why a president must have a say in whoever becomes IGP, the head of the military, and then prison services and other agencies. So there is the need for us to ensure that these institutions can elect their own leaders, and that's fine. But until that is done, the president had that prerogative. And for instance, if you go to America, even those advanced democracies, Alaska, a president now appointed the FBI director is appointed by the president. Trump will buy your first win of fire. No, I
sack myself.
Yeah, I sack myself. So you see, it's something in a democracy is embedded. Because President Biya Suro said, the head of security agencies, you know, they can make and make you at any point in time. So that discretionary power, and I'm free president, but you don't know whether the person is coming to sabotage what you're coming to do or not. USA. One of the sensitive security agencies has to do with the director of CIA. The president now pointed out.
Very well.
National Intelligence Way. President now pointing out. FBI director. President now pointing out. So all the security head ne couples that are nipa omo.
Any exceptional.
No. And me person me say until we get to a stage. Some of these constitutional arrangements in the na ya time to be there share these institutions and say omo appoint omo policy there. I could find by dampare and co. Sometimes you can do some of these things and then get away with it. So I'm not sure say the Obibet may be grudge president so what taking that decision at this point in time. But Alaska, my issue has to do with dampare whole you've heard saying IGP kind of stuff. You see, IGP dampare has been a very smart person. Playing the game, you know. So one way, yeah. So I know the day there were a lot of people.
One way or the nothing better
exactly. A lot of people got hoodwinked into the idea. So, about the name of it, but Alaska, maybe fundamental issue has to do with police dealing with the public. For instance, Asem Sisesia, I am very crucial. For instance, Yatiana police for Kobotiano. They shot about 15 people and killed them. Omode Babanteso Muku 3 people, which was a lie.
That's right.
Alaska, that incident by nipa tie nipa huye. Media ni crop police ni afrena bisa say catch dia be na see no. Almost IGP say mayen kasa. Alaska, police just like any other institution. They have individuals that yet training or more in terms of communication. So it's not as if
across the region no communicate I say more biankasa.
Unless
headquarters.
Alaska, police anya bosom. You deal with the individuals, there must be that kind of relationship. So, beyond the team, is the reason why officers know what the power to train people are when it comes to PR or more human or no. So, as long as issue because these are sensitive security issues, they really want to understand. You don't wait to say just your issue statement from headquarters. Issue no baba summarizing the whole thing. It doesn't even provide details. Subsequent to that, you don't hear any investigation. And you wouldn't and as all costs are to be Alaska one yet. So that particular thing became a lot of way and amount for a camp. And again, police form rants are now dealing with the general public. Alaska, how many people are police for issue to a more chroma say? Menkasa we police in no be threatened with life for no, that's not what I'm saying. But Alaska, we've seen instances within slight confrontation obati yese police ni ekunipa yetiana yese abrantie bi yakofa ne free ne dem e won kranza ne maame 1 week na ne maame hu ne da na ni ba na wo yese ne ba no wo mochware
enna bankra
abekuno asem no see na police for call grounds no asem asi boys rebu afu you needed to go there and calm the situation. They ended up killing extra people. But see ne Nkranza issue no, what is Obia investigation?
No.
What is Obia Kanwasem? And Sanyama when you know we will expect it because you see the police internally no can at Obibaka say oh na say police for within issue na ma general public na ma internally you can deal with it. But issue na ba me no yate no you will need to communicate to us what you are doing just to ensure that we remedy such situation. But we didn't hear anything. And Kranza issue, no, till date, there is no single journalist to meet me about any briefing as to what actually came out of that particular issue. Alaska, Abrantia be say, ne sister, aye ne vesa amano, or kwa Germany. The oba crass or better turn one near man or go back to central region. Or kwa no ko ra, your friend is saying, more now, our honor. Yes, police in say 1 minute bibi say I dare say the boto who's over 1 minute. And you the shocker at the Tara branch and instantly. I was on TV with a mother the last time. Mammy is soon to say
with a mother.
Yes. And the sister and I said for them told yet no call police we know. I've one because I not boy no crown or debent just in some more cano is so nasty. I say oh men idea and I don't go to the minimum. Yes, this is a criminal police here. A binumen castle munina. A sem toa, ye bembo dear Chasamato, so and I antiana or call Kumase. Then as I was a boys and then they see ye.
Almost shoot on almost they are criminal.
Yes, and almost cost sell 2 days near Madibu Monchain. Frame almost said they were armed robbers. It took investigation outside the police and son a year who said, indeed, non-conforming your criminals. A judge and a man a high court judge in a Quatina dignity. And a friend external people, including few other police, and son of because the police in combatant, so I cover up. And I know the day, no, we needed to compensate those guys. Alaska, a man William Fisher, yet you chroma, and a Mrantia bullion van or more koba
at the dempo.
Alaska, issues na him so mo bomb Mrantia no tuo. Still, not the police administration were putting young people at risk. A Mrantia on vest. Na na kwatra bullion van car nim na e de tuo tintin aso okọ 1947 war na esini nan so na de te car ketwa front. Alaska am rubber towa chese untimi nya hwa se o si free car num ansa na obekọ kwa sa tuo num side arms kwa no mu nibi enti abra video na hwa no am rubber towa mo no na there was nothing that the police man could do. So am rubber no mo ne be bie door no ansa na police na etimi atwene tuo pia so na de be hwe am rubber so na wakunu dada. This well, your friend say, and near man na so we need a remedy. But the IGP was busy or che Kalawele was social media na camera dinachi. Or che Kalawele, we saw some of the videos. Oh, whatever it is, Alaska. On nama me who be that IGP, your job is to fight crimes. On nama na camera see or hang cameraman. And a video, no. As if that's a movie, comedy been a yedi. Alaska, Sassam we are making Emma this issue. Emrante kwatina ka animi eda ebeda dise sa police form mpanimfo no bi na hyehye sa akire ama ye koche police training college abrante bi a okire nkora na de kromfo a o training police officers
kromfo
a o training young police officers and no sha akire and few others ye bo modern che mrante no. Alaska, what you expect in say ye be ye ne ye investigation hwan ye involve no ebetimi aboa mamamfo akoma to oboyam because at the time I chase amrante no na anya hwe young police almost bear 4 and ye ku omo in a similar fashion. Ye koda sorry ya police for their very foolish statement about one say ye kofa police for me ensa na mugu custody ni say ye de omo kwa abonten ama makoboa yen ama ya kwa ambushi some criminals bi
with investigation.
Yes, ye call ye no ambush and ambush ye there was a shootout na si ye no omo anya nipa bia nku omo say police for me ensana na omugu prison na ye ko yi omo ahomache no. They killed the 3 police officers
under Dampare.
And you see, and there are events you may not have control over. Ye kum we no nsam no sie no bi ate. What statement? What investigation? What say you can't say biafa ho. Till date what be that? Alaska police in Yabosom. Now even some of the CIA documents as we speak, most of them have been your friends saying ya read that binum ama babo nti amamfo e kan.
Most of them has been released
yes,
to the public.
Amamfo e kan den asefo nom. So hear from this asem no sia obi ante ho asem na asefo. So within the police, you know, he may have his issues, mate about police welfare sika, mate about promotion, mate about this and no me ni hobby. I don't want to speculate and I don't want to go into. But my concern has to do with the dealings of the police and with the people. And the fact that police for young guys no more ban cry no crime ban yeah for so making sure say yeah pray for must be assisting abeye. Alaska, there are a lot of young people who are coming to the police with a lot of energy and enthusiasm so about the year juma
92.3
obeba na yedo beko police barracks na yakobi a single room amount o fridge no won niam nyina sisi abonten Alaska ba bi on beda cry problem and the same thing applies to the military and boys no mo free military aba no 37 na akwasa asore dan na yede bed asisi mba akonda soro ba akonda form
asore dan
oh na Alaska
and the more less some students
yes our dormitory life now we are living in secondary school no that is what some of the young military men are living in the barracks.
So it means leadership require fighting for the cause of the people.
And these institutions are one of the most corrupt institutions you can find.
Corrupt.
Oh, trust me, Alaska. When it comes to procurement, our president and Kasa audit both the police and the military. But because our budget in for sometimes we wrap them because of security in for I think that the president should be bold enough and audit the military and the police. And I can never find no. Why can't go we about half beko prison for no. But the welfare of the young people, nobody is taking care of. Alaska. Neamo muhia sebe yo mo brabone nanka last boys no mote bullion van ni ma no mo kwe hwe 2cc nkra na kana kore. Sa tete Gold Coast two na no mo de kwa war no. Ten na nesisi o mo sere so. Ukosia kromfo na no ba no kura sophisticated weapon obi kura G3 na so.
And the time na kwa obedane ho.
E Gold Coast too da be na obi fi Africa na Alaska. So you see some of these things in are compounded so there are those who hail Dampare when it comes to some of the administrative decisions. But administrative decisions, that is not what I am looking at. I am looking at the security of the average Ghanaian. Alaska, in the last few years, look at the number of people I adopted or saying. Boy, yeah, sort of Twitter or can I be on Venice saying bongo ideas.
Bongo ideas.
The Quack of us a cofano. We are police zone in national security zone in so remember I'm in a cofana, a papa and a cofana.
I don't want him, sir, Omoba Missoha, and only away.
Yo, so Alaska, and this all where Nema Akoswa. Yet you could be abroad, Mammy, our airport, Yakofani. These are internal security. So, whatever way the police are involved. So, that sense of insecurity, heightened to a point here. People felt insecure prior to elections. Election no by we na man for akomato moyemo. But before the elections, you have a man for people who were posting on social media and they were being abducted. Then as for them, why not police for what are they doing? You understand? The police had their own issues, and they within the police now damn parana and kasane the young police for there was this tag of war between them.
Very well.
Tag of war between them. I don't know how in a personal relationship with, but whatever it is in Alaska, when you are in charge, you make sure say Obia is under you. You find a way. The best way to lead as a leader is find a way to use your enemies to your advantage. Alaska, the best way is say Obefa crime business will use your enemies, because you know they hate you.
And police vote say we voted against the MPP because of Dampare.
Yeah, and there are those who are in the police because you see, when it comes to some of this, in the feeling they are mixed. You can't just listen to one side. There are people also worried because Dampare is going.
I'm not sure you are on the good side.
Exactly.
But according to them, no sir, if you are not on his side, promotion part they don't go there.
And I said, no, so here Omo no mu ye ku atu ni amukotena committee animi ya saa we no. So here and some no more can clearly when it comes to promotion and as for no there were a whole lot of issues na e cause but and I make say these are internal issues sometimes but with the public sense of security in this country, some of the things that I saw, the urgency and the seriousness policing now had the conduct and the attitude of the IGP dinner. Alaska na a match because the social media, the narrative out there was just trying to showcase to people. I don't know where that particular because security, social media, camera dimachimi turned economic talking. Last me who news headline say the IGP buys kinky from roadside, eating like ordinary Ghanaian. Jimmy dear, eating like an ordinary Ghanaian. And I'm going to do a hefa. That is how cheap journalism has become in this country. IGP akoto kenki or kwine na yanti abawumi akwa nkoto kenki or kwine and so what
but journalists I don't know fitina mudi asem
oh na Alaska say agro mu microphone do na ni so eti Alaska we need to get serious na ehu share say papa ya obayi I cannot just sit here and menka say afa no so oba
that's right
so the oba be ye na ebe gina so me I don't know him that much
you who know
yes I don't know him that much but the ono so be ye no
or your deputy to Dampare
and I say yes Dana, you're pointing to deputy now, no call hibernation.
That's right.
That is the power of dampare for you. Or no better office or help you could more or less, you know, it looked like independence for a lot of people within the police, and there are among for expressive war. But for me, where I am, I think that the last time I catch all, dampare free no fees no cry. He should not just go home. I think that there are a number of issues.
He must be probed.
Yes, he must be probed. He must be investigated. Some of these incidents, we can't just let these things go because I'm told it was a land issue and almost said I said sand winning. That was a lie.
That's right.
Because Nipa, the MP was all over complaining about it. Alaska, Nipa nya koko, and the young police in Ebony to Kunisaka. Now you fire who police brutality is also Kroma say. And you see, let me also say, and yet dampare in the crew now nam and no brutalize you be. But you see, leader no, the backs no stop with you. The obey and the bema among for what to do. Incident where yes see a maka nipa mo yeku mo police for ya bo to police na ko bo we to police na ku we yakota ata we yakochi we ya nadwo yakofa we wo hane na se for no Alaska. Se public no anhu se wo ye bibia fa ho a people will not be happy with you. And as an IGP, some of us didn't see some of these things. You understand? It's the reason why consistently about society, now people were calling said the IGP should be sacked.
That's right.
Then I've seen some people strategically, some what the president court.
That's right.
Ako in Jantino,
Franklin Kujo and others.
Because that news, as I said last week, and people knew say na we yaba, and quickly But I think that some of these things, and yet said I say Mr. Kaya, as it stands now, the president award that prerogative, that power
by the constitution,
per the constitution of this country, and until we can start a conversation going forward. Say police service, are mature to a point here they can elect. But Alaska, one dangerous thing is that all the security set up in this country, one way or the other, have been politicized. They are the NDC side and the MPP side. And Obia on interest and your friend saying, Babi and Neamako. So another day, even if you give the police that power, so one can elect or leaders, you're going to have a problem. Same way the military, and now come military, you're the MPP side and the NDC side, and those who are also playing medal games. And the trust and the confidence and the sense of professionalism you expect the institution to exhibit. Now what you imagine, so I can say, this institution are mature to the point that your mom they can elect their own. I'm not sure the police has exhibited that sense of maturity to be given that overwhelming of power to elect their own leaders. I think we need to.
I almost think that maturity.
No, they don't have that maturity.
But as when the person rose from the ranks.
Yes.
Now, I said that institution is a moment to me appointed. You say, I'm that maturity.
Now, Alaska, now promotion, who issues are best young for one day. When it's your kind, say you've done all, you tick all the boxes, and you need to be promoted to the next stage. Alaska promotion, and yes, sir,
that's right.
You go through a lot of some virtual exams or some will call interview, some professional conduct, and so forth. Nipana, original house or the mao. Sometimes they look at you or how animal or how they say, "Oh, party way." They can, and we've seen a lot of the issues. Jump a lot of people over their seniors and then as a forum. The same thing has to do with the bar. Your friend saying the Chief Justice,
that's right.
The Supreme Court. Doma hine kwatena your friends High Court in Yendo.
Oh,
and crank to Abasin,
because Omuhun say
or Kasama party be an answer.
That's right.
So sanity, your friend saying Supreme Court is sanity. But I can tell you, another one is coming. The Ghana force should prepare.
Another
dampare is coming. Because Alaska, some of these massive changes must be done.
Right.
Sabaya, you to me a sanitized state institution. For instance, Enra way by one major issue people are expressing has to do with Chief Justice in Supreme Court in Nasafonum, Alaska. If there is a particular place that need that holy cleansing, for me, I think is the judiciary. And not just the Chief Justice, but recent appointment of President Kufuor, Eduko Gusa, bench in Subiano. We need to take our time, think it through, and make sure, say, every single person who Hobiano deserve to qualify, and the person our the requisite whatever it takes to be there. And they being there no engender trust and confidence across the country. Na say political lines because you see I'm not say prosecution enyan shase okroma. There are a lot of people who are worried. Say anasa bench where o hoi there. Na say the case bi akwa ebebo atoagu. And very surprisingly aban na say no. One say Supreme Court ruling never be say unanimous na free ho.
Serious.
Say mama 3-4. No mama your friend say 5-2. No mama. But this is a Supreme Court for the past 7 years in it was unanimous throughout. So justice is what he found. How do you build confidence? How do you engender that trust? Right. So I think that thing has to be done. And this changes because it's not just the police, but as the IGP and idea, similar change fire service. The Director General.
Oh, that's right.
And then prison service, the same thing.
And the Air Force Commander.
Good. And some of these changes.
CID boss.
Yes. Some of these changes, expect them to because.
CDS.
Yes. Some of these changes, expect them that they will happen.
Right.
And I think you need to strengthen institutions and make institutions respond to the needs of the people and not say, you sue the police or these institutions as a platform to hype yourself. Say, that is why the new one coming, you should know that next time we won't have a for so damn party or quiet number for was when they be doing the so, never so baba. But Nina Beshas Abraba or born in the Bedu one dance. I keep telling people, say, whenever you encounter people in life, Alaska, whenever, keep at the back of your mind, say, a day will come, that encounter will be a story that person will tell. And your dealings with the person at that moment, and the better whether in the storytelling of that person, you are a hero or a villain. And yet, it will not be the person's making, but when you see it, they are winning the bay, how you treat the person, and our channel kind of story, or back kind of way. Never deal with anybody in life and think, say, a day will come, the person will not tell his story. Ebi a net or your cook, ebi or your security, who free say, the soon name fast. A day will come, that person will tell his story. And the other year, no, and no back. I think that we should be guided.
And then my main coming story. As 11 radio on 92.3, my main breaking news way. My main board the management of Ahunto FM, especially the general manager, that the Bosco. Yawaha, and now, damn parent in Crawford say, Omumbe family. Reason in you say, Emrana Omuye NDC internal elections, especially Shai Osudoku. And at the then, district commander or declare or only support a particular candidate. So through my research team, and I expose you no. Ya tuabani wie ya wa according to management and say pips dan pare any in cross like omombe family mra and that boss could say na nipa no will radio so the yampani o just NC because then the people were because I was bashing the government all the time behind me weapon ni me research me say na ye wo evidence to nia ye ka e dey ko see ni nyina echi ni say omo kire me ba me evidence what I'm e wo whistleblowers act and whistleblowers act other na was say me evidence made it man but that the boss stood on his ground said no me ain't to me in fact and releasing in fact that time I was on air ni nyina was under dampare me kan nyina dey akwa si say under dampare say we wide be so be kan no kure a if the jubilee I say catch him for me ya obaba be chewu
you see the impression he was creating out there no? You see when you take it to social media and you begin to put up those gymnastics now
that's right.
They see you as a show person always going around sometimes Ochem Van Damme IGP kwana camera dinachina enyum de chire dwindwem Ochem Van Damme okuku last kala de Van Damme.
So they came here and general manager said to release Alaska that mean
it's not right. So Alaska, some of these things cost what beneath the omoye you don't even pay attention to. You understand? So over here in some no banana man for a people are enthused with social media. But on the grounds, people were dabbling the issues of insecurity, killing here, shooting people, like adapting people here and there. And you don't even know the point I'll call report to wine.
Exactly.
Niema were messy. For instance, during the elections, Abra Abatuano, a koya yekuni pano. You don't even expect the new president to say investigate it.
Very well.
As a leader, your conscience and your knowledge, expertise in as for should warrant that particular way for you. Say no, I need to do this. But until the president says, anyway, Alaska, one issue has to do with issue of recruitment. I told you that there is a team immediately after election that was set up to look at recruitment. Alaska, some of the individuals are recruit them into the Ghana police. Alaska, if you see some of the report, we and you begin to ask yourself, how
they are criminals,
not just criminals. So within the police, there is a team. You can call it a kill squad. You
can call them
kill squad. Alaska, you hear the power who call dirty jobs. There are the very people who send them. And when you see those people, you know say we a funeral.
Why you see them?
Who are more we a funeral? Because their job is to just your friends have finished you.
To eliminate you.
Yes. And you can't do that. Alaska, extrajudicial killing our cost will chroma within this particular way and that. So for me, where I sit, Dampare, I like him as a person. To be very honest, I like him as a person. But as an IGP, near my coso, ne kwanya ne ten and usiko, I'm one person I was never happy with the way I know any IGP said. So I think this is a good decision. And I also employed a new guy now because a new IGP, but he has been there
for a long time.
So the other year never manipa a supporting and I said, "Yeah, the right thing," and you can just come and recreate what has happened in the past. Because there has been successive IGP abasing. Alaska police, and there hasn't been any improvement to be out. A new police for no more banner. I be so more. Omo ntare shemu, omo mpabo ashem.
Me se wo mo tare ase de akesha ni.
Babi omo da. Na police ni na ankasa ono ankasa ni security at san.
Right.
Police ni no provide we no. Psych evaluation be because obi kura ba Alaska. Oba be hu sa etu ye kunipa na ne yam timi hye no timi bofa de tim. How do we address all of these things?
Right.
I think we need to do a lot.
Meda say enunti na make us ene dampare call. Etienne I was said nipa a conference misi mami board the management of Ahoto FM abaso. Enunti na NDC appointees ni NDC for to dey be and you can say some of us we really risk our lives. Countless number of occasions yasuma se me yembe family that the Bosco the general manager said no way. Security no establish ni yenye dede because Alaska kase because Nana does a mumba fanamra that the Bosco said no way because last be here that you as a shama away unipana MC and on that be over family any wo ba no wa kra say me kwaba na me ma ana Alan I see on countless number of occasions yasuma se me family mra and general manager and you see omunye la ko ba bia na general manager wo and I say for Alaska,
no way.
Me am the new baba.
No way. No way.
Alan, walk out there.
You were about the children on Yanko Ponsin. And any ever be near with you.
That's right.
The chairman you have been my advance, me who knows I don't mind me. Chairman. Over so powerful. You want a happy belated happy birthday.
Kale ya bre na do.
Yes, bro.
Media me see omba bia omaba na Bosco ho. I say mon come de ne baba.
Na do amamu. O you are when you have your mark me in parliament.
That's right.
Aka satisfied your amamu ne fin bia ni hu. Amamu bonesa, amamu kan troka za. And then that one. Say IGP asema yake. Nanka eko ye nanka ono na nado danko akufado the papa ye and anka police we ni so and ye juma pa anka ene a ye ni fi ono no me hu se ye IGPB fi so na obeko barracks na mo
serious
serious.
Na a police for a body.
I say it is never done. It is never done in a police force.
Say NDC, you to about the mamu, you MPP for, but you to about the NDC because you need dampare.
It's never done. Meanwhile, what dampare in she? Your papa will need baby because Professor John for some time was not.
We are Eddie Camp.
Eddie Camp. Into war, one on Ejuma Ben and our Mabano. That is the question we have to ask. And Unti, and I was saying penny for no. Yes, you won't see Nipa Edin GD, a bishan. A man who quite so on brand on member born who buy. Because with this development, you know, serious. Because say be on my radio stations as an city, as seven or can I ask somebody and Unti as I say my found. Once my working in it is about economy. It is about good governance. And what they what any dear walker and my man sati. Now I boa buying managing and announce no 2 and more. Everything made the abo abino. Omejina has say, another down Kwakufado.
No.
Omejina has say, enya baumia. And it's someone cassa entia baumia. Now one cassa enter another down Kwakufado. No. Now walk come again, semi air course a while by one, a chibi woman. Now we will be some match. It clearly tells itself. In Crawford, I'm a mono mebuno, or mobile babuno. O man bason baby bua my or mine, I may in Yahundo. Because I dream Paul Mukrom with the biano. Dear, or more papa, at the Shelmo party, Nassino. I'm we and a Bokobokuri too. His Excellency, Kwame Nkrumah edifice, exactly that mindset, no. And in the crew man, so at any given time when you are queen, they want to exhibit that character. The menu are making. Sure. So Obishia police ni ewu krum. No who na tidy ya oshe. That's not what because of that kashana.
Serious.
So what is the motivation in crime sheben and a police nino? Cause I don't crow she crap with the dinner one so the age man crap no no. Na person pabwa ya de oshe. You understand? I say one ma police ejuma and a police ejuma no so and say so ejuma. You restrict them to the barracks. The police are always outside.
And they are with us.
They are with us. Oh, and it's always share. That's a black in the winya. That is a more reason in the past. No? There were so many transformations that has to do with the police uniform. At some point in time, no, it was a khaki up and down. At one point in time, on the shape blue, it was true.
And come away by
all those
Buffalo units.
Yeah, that is it. But we have the striking force. The force that came first was the Buffalo unit before the striking force came. And the other forces started coming. What do you say? And the police force Nangasa has gone through a lot of transformation as far as the Ghana Police Service is concerned. And you know, so if you want to reform the police better, what you say? Na ejumano ebuo abe ejumano ho a. The nipa na holding atono ato ho no. The other man, or the chairman of the police council, what was he doing? What was he assessing? How is he even assessing and seeing as to what the police force is doing? Nothing. That the Chinese police on a so ever since the police any monumental jump in terms of salary payment is under His Excellency.
That's right. Now our police work assistant go and see
thank you.
And
the first time the police once again will have a breakthrough. Our police was doing friends yeah, papa, fly Lieutenant General John Rawlings, Namibia, a call, so peacekeeping.
Very well.
That was where, because the police have never, ever embarked, as time to be corrected. So peacekeeping, all that, and breakthrough, in those days, and I said, we are police in Ukraine, so talk. And that's all car crap, and so they show me you have no right.
Because
make as far, not even 6 states more, as early as the 90s, until they went to Namibia and came back in 19. Ask any police serviceman.
Oh, yeah, but
yes, I'm a barrasboy. I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You understand? And those are police ni, nasa over talker, nasa over car, and they say you knew dia. So I know you dia. Then that car now you have a problem because you must be able to prove. But the breakthrough, what brought about the breakthrough was the peacekeeping to Namibia, and it continues afterwards. And that is how the police force go through this transformation. We do your papa, Professor John Evans Natamos, all the senior science salary structure by Anna, I uplift your mom, and we don't do baby. Into all damn party, with all that you have gone through, what they are saying, and the kind of knowledge you have acquired as far as the Ghana Police Service is concerned. Because damn party is one person when answer all by the IGP, you know. Now most of the police people revered him.
Very well.
Yeah, they revere him, they see him as an intellectual. Because someone says here, I will do the one who won't count in now. It was that man who fought for the welfare and only assassinated the mom. So he came in, himself, with the Ankataji, police were at the end in the next call. Na say nipa ebo say ewo wichia and there was a papa dampare obo no obisa no honsem because as you are going when sick back the very institution awaba da no wo fi ho no we na me say so bi so e the okokot or the mama okokot
92.3
all kind of what kind of joke is this?
But the fact is said Ivan can not dampare obi so smart.
Oh.
And your journalist be one more advocate for his removal. No, now Wamaya from behind the scenes.
And Wakasa.
And then the Wakasa. That is how we are playing the game.
It's how the people. It's what the people are feeling. And as intelligence, look, Alaska, I can tell you in confidence.
92.3.
Than before Paris removal. Now mean very well. Per the intelligence we have picked on the ground from some of the policemen that if His Excellency John Dramani Mahama decide to keep Dampare as the IGP up to the end or the middle of the year, no, the police force were going to demonstrate.
Oh, that's right.
Do a background check and you see.
But na one say, is it Dampare? Sorry, Dampare remover no wasn't even politicians no mu push you.
No, it's on
within the police and Kasa. There were the very people who were pushing said no. We've had enough of this guy. He must go.
No.
So the question is, again, and a koso.
That is it.
Me say, yeah, so called the breaking news. No, me just said that the boss 80 on countless number of occasions. He am fire.
How?
And coincidental, I'm be not general manager. So that
how can the police?
And your secret is who are very tight. And I say no, you go. I'll bring him.
That's all.
And it's another order me back there. Because Nanado says bring him.
Oh, it can't be possible. It has never been possible then, and it can never be possible today.
That's right.
It will be possible tomorrow.
Good.
The action is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the Papa Nadia Brega na for
and now they also calling for the various security heads to say they should be changed, especially Air Force commander. And then look at the messages about here. Yes,
he should go.
Almost Air Force commander must be changed. CDS must go.
Some of these things in American, then they will happen, but you can't do this at the same time. You understand that? So it's a gradual process. And if you apart from security, I'm telling you that there are a band of people who either resign or they will go home. It will happen. And you see, this time around, no, and look at this whole damn parrot thing.
That is it.
It happened yesterday in the night. The following day, your honey has been sworn in.
Yes, and then you are sworn in.
Swift.
And you obeti, yes, Chief Justice, or whatever, and I we no other thing. So some of these things, you know, you can do it. It's like a lightning way, a happening, and strategically you plan, you execute it, and then it ends there. You understand? You need to build trust. Say wherever you are, it is about building trust.
No, today, let's delve much into this security issue. Nafe, yeah, the passport and other issues about because that is issue as a summary. Ivan,
Alaska.
For now, people are calling and say all the security heads appointed by Nanado must go, so that John Dramani Mahama say I'm going na Ophelia. You say you will not do Crawford ban with Ophelia because Nanado nimi ya akagana phone 20.
Alaska, it's not a matter of Akufo-Addo appointing and Asenya Akufo-Addo. When you select what they will you may lose focus.
No,
on the discussion.
That is the discussion. That is
no.
Maybe a fear.
Yeah, Mahusa, but
good.
You need to look at Nipana or Hono, the competence. Yeah, Akufo-Addo betimi do obiaba, and the person may be doing good job. You understand? And you may not have to sack the person, but overall, no assessing who's a Nipano, or vision or plan. Where you want to position the Ghana Police Service and ensure maximum security because on mine I mean the most crucial and the most fundamental thing obia here first is security.
Very well.
A sense of insecurity, there are two forms of security. A sense of insecurity and a state of insecurity.
Okay.
And the most dangerous is the sense of insecurity. When you feel that you are insecure.
The sense and the state.
And the state.
Okay.
When that sense of insecurity a plague you are. What them crowd to be state of insecurity there, sometimes you wait me deal with it, but when you have that sense, say you are not secure that Alaska you can survive, and these are two combinations I can't magana for dealing with. You understand? So you should know that the president, the foremost responsibility is to ensure that every Ghanaian is safe.
Good.
Because as a being safe, economic sense, political wise, your friends say social wise, religious wise, and so on. This security, the ultimate priority of a president to be as a making sure say. So individual no more you get them out because the constitution, and the constitutional frameworks, anywhom, how crucial it is, and into that power, no president, oko other institutional. And then, for instance, EC boss, Chief Justice, so we remove one more. The approach is different.
That's right.
But when it comes to the security heads and as a foreigner there, you can push them out anytime. And Alaska me reforms are me person me here and say, you see, your policy, there are a lot of issues. Has to do with training, has to do with recruitment. And as my catcher said, one of the reasons why I don't is it, recruitment of 1 year in the last 4 years. Alaska.
Very bad.
Me say details about Montana and Ghana for who be a Kenya. And me, my proposal has always been said in recent years. We've seen a lot of criminals, criminal, but in the name of this partisan politics, a lot of criminals, bandits, social misfits, are gaining the opportunity to be in the police, the military everywhere. And these people have criminalized these institutions, including the national security.
But don't you think, sir, politicians should IGPs and now say those securities engagement because we have appointed you and you must do, because look at who are party chairman be, constituency chairman be, like somebody like where to me detective. Meanwhile, this IGP like what to me in school, like because me party na bapa.
So when you badge in to start the minds, me one kasa when you're serious.
That's right.
You understand? Because and your party chairman appointed, the president appointed, me you appointed me IGP. Can a party come from you? How dare you? Who ni panel to on a crown for phone fret? You can suggest me crowd qualification. Fine, you go through the process or qualify. Why not?
That is, we do a background check.
Exactly. But you can't tell me that me Asante region and me bandy final. You can't tell me that. And when you badge into such demand, it means that one casano when you're serious. What I say? So that is the beginning what it. So Alaska for me, the Yahoo in recent times, some of these decisions go beyond the IGP. I think the president needs to sit down here and say, in the past 10-20 years, what has been the major problem with our security?
Okay.
Sometimes personnel now has a level of training, understanding issues of security. They don't even know it. For instance, me call bank be now police in now ojina bank na ni no saying tuo. Now all the say ohun we no akwachia no den sa to we kom no moko. But nipa na oye police ojina bank na nim no. Say am robber ba unhu no ore na dikan hu. So we are first target. Very well. So always you must be alert, scanning around to look for unusual things. But I don't know, Jina Hono. Assassin no cry in our dream. Make him wakoto credit to crowd good and this will win part 3 and only journal to saying no. Unless cannot be sounds a training bank and then the pan go through. You can't blame them. See, Okroma, a man for police training school for just 2 months, 3 months. Or mom almost say police in Tadia.
Meanwhile, police training is supposed to be 6 months.
Obekwa and Kobi. And I am proposing, say, going forward, let us set up police training colleges, just like teacher training, nursing training.
Okay.
That's because security in its modern form, encompasses a whole larger area. Bioterrorism, cyber security, your friends saying intelligence gathering and processing, and how to react to other agencies. Whole lot about into security. So when you put them to this 3-year training, you can make it degree, you can make it, your friend is saying, diploma. Nipari be go through way, now what make sure so why equipping ye. And no crime bet me, I control the amount of people who are coming to the police every year.
Right.
First, now we didn't have that resources. Until a year and a 6 months short in the but by now, we've had a lot of people in. So going forward, And we are able to do this thing, train them psychologically, mentally, intellectually, because a police officer, a security person is supposed to be one of the most intelligent person.
Very well.
Now, when you in Tokwano or Bowasum, Kwachini Pambrano can form.
But Alan,
yes,
serious.
The issue is yeah, my own kind of Alaska. Say, OG will be police for general duties.
Right.
NASA all starting for the constable. At least 6 months minimum training. Because that person is there from day one.
Because after 6 months, then time almost top up.
That is it. To 6 months now, only I could be graduate. So graduate here in the police, or was 6 months and 9 months for probation.
Good.
Between the 6 to 9 month probation, so we have been as a who touch him, you are going. So it's not even guaranteed.
That's then time.
That is what I'm telling you. Now, we now find ourselves in a situation whereby, and now I'm in what I say, it's just an Ivan Kyei. Obiko police train now 2 months, no man AP. 3 months, no man AP. Into a similar was so bizarre, I won't say. The Oko 2 months, I will piano, the body and Ushia.
Wow.
Now, before even a policeman become a CID, after even going the 6 months, they undergo a special training to equip them with special friends and knowledge that has to do with Obia or no on-share uniform. In those days, Oba guard duties here. The woman doesn't go guard duties. Oba no emfe tuo enkura. Ene unam kroma police ni ba ekura tuo edinam krom. You answer yen bi say papa mo say ano no dan pare na pe his studies no and during the time on no wrem no na police ni ba oko guard duties ana and as a police ni ba ekura tuo edinam krom ana. Because the fact of the matter, no matter how strong the feminine will be, it will never be like a male.
Okay.
What I say, and so the issue is say advance, then we must be able to get the necessary equipment. Send a bear who himself the police in 3 months. But the 3 months itself, it is not because the police is a whole institution on its own. Yes. It is a whole institution on its own. In Chakwa is a woman. So when me decided say, mayor doctor, after my first degree, I have another 2-3 years, you understand, to go to be trained. What I said before we be film from the one I will remind my first year, you are spending 7 years. Before you come out to be a doctor, and that one crap, it does not graduate to be a doctor. You have to go through various processes. Yes. Until when you accept to yourself, say, me person me a police, and this is going to be my professional. Then you have to go through some training. As I train, equip, build up. So we be say man. But you cannot bring people in. First, Alaska, look, a policeman who is less than 5'10" height, what you say, you're the policeman.
That's right.
And they know it. And you don't tell me, say, you see, every profession, I understand that outside to my profession. And you're by force.
And now to police in the another height.
Thank you. And those people, those days, from that office, no matter. 2.3. No matter how intelligent the person, the office, no, you are good at and then, you share your coin so, in Google coin so. And the question is, whatever done Paris is here as police, yeah, appointee Yaku, I don't understand a friend, or the visibility policing by
that's right.
From the international community. Experience the other count police and say, look, policing is not done in the room, it is done on the street.
Very well. Baby obey do be own police.
That is it.
Unam bakum police.
Police.
Every 5 kilometers we are police.
If you have the intent to commit crime, the presence of the policeman
will scare you.
It will scare you. But how has policing been today? And then tell me how many police cars patrol in your area? Police car do sing and the patrol area. And so clearly, you realize that police, it has become a political institutional. It's a job for the boys.
Yeah, the reward party faithful.
That is it.
Yes. And Alaska, make say, just imagine say what could she be, and the person is a fool. Oh, man, sir, Oko school now a classmate me boy. Besides class 1, I wouldn't maybe one natural tools of my Jimmy.
That's right.
But Omunya, your mother so say. Me boy. So when you know it doesn't mean say Jimmy no call. So naturally there are people who are not smart.
Exactly.
And the nipa only nyansa no wadi 25 years. and you think you can use 6 months to train that person and give him a gun. One kasano wuna winim nyansa. You can't train a fool in 6 months and arm him with a gun. These are basic principles of life.
When we say issues way before election, by almost a year to election, this same way.
Yes.
You are discussing.
Yes, I told you. So you can arm, and the most dangerous thing to do is to arm a fool with gun.
Yes. What do you expect?
Happy, trigger happy. Any least confrontation. Yes. Yeah, funny akoboni tuo.
And because about gangsterism.
Yes, and that is what I don't like about Dampare. Sansem Lucia, a deben away as an IGP. Nothing. Alaska, we are not living in a banana republic. Do you know a number of people say? People don't talk about it because they went to social media and posted something. Nipa yirati sem koko. Abrante omokofa and look at the ordeals he went through. If Ghana is any serious country,
the bongo idea.
Yes. Yeah. And some na boy no narrating no, you may not like him. You may not like his style and as a forum. But Alaska bisa won say when na kofa no be see them you and I we don't know. The police in your no, national security in your no. When in the jobs so provide security. And several other staff, Alaska. So I think police in Ankasa here overhaul. It's not about Dampare. For me, it is not about Dampare. It's not about new IGP.
We are not dealing with. We are not dealing with somebody.
No. I'm not.
We are dealing with the institution.
Yes.
We are not coming to the institution.
That is what I'm saying. Sir. The issue Dampare Yohunu Nasifono Krano, they are inconsequential to the discussion that happening here. There must be a dedication, some effort. Say overhauling police, new training, you know, manuals, no, then as a form, everything has to change. You understand? Now you say police in Nipanebe Roma level of qualification here, training in Nipano community, and the training, you know, encompassing all aspects of security, including bioterrorism, cyber terrorism, every aspect. Now, Alaska, Obi a training police school aba. WhatsApp crowd nim say send a message, not in the police or the ambassador send them. But now most of the crimes no cause online in IT. Training no call, you know.
Let me ask you, were you happy say Dampare is removed?
Oh, I'm okay with that. Because for me,
the same question will come
to
yes.
you. Oh, no. Yes, Alaska.
No, the same question will come to you.
Oh, I answer yes, Dada. And Alaska, it's not personal. We are not personalizing it. Maybe issue with Dampare has to do with Nipa Yekuo Mo Kromha. He didn't do anything about it, including on police officers. I actually almost say, Omono mu lead bullion van attacks. I don't go police we ya. You could you ma machi kuku.
I want to we mami. Where ya police barracks back with you?
The joy is all over. The joy is everywhere. We are going to win from our heart. Oh, Ghana, the security is in our hand, and this is what we have been ending and praying for. We thank God. We thank God for that. For listening to our President of Mama. God bless you. We have really listened to our prayers. Hey, freedom forever. Freedom forever. You can see the jubilant. Everybody's jubilant. Police. Look at the jubilant from everywhere. Everybody's happy. Oh, at long last. At long last. At long last.
We no almost be break, Papa.
Most of them are not 8 years old in the Ghana Police Service. Wow. Check on background. Most of them will not be 8 years old in the Ghana Police Service. You go back and check. Because no serious trained police officer, no matter how unhappy
you are,
you never come out in the public domain
and do video.
No,
you are right.
Yes, and so that was a
professional.
Yes. So one alcohol, how can a police officer the camera be seen to say for my IGP or your video? Any serious can do that person. These people have to be sacked.
Because
because we are not on Nimnyan not Janice or yard, and I'm a we have a problem. On Nimnyan not Janice or yet Dampare is gone, the police is still there. So it means that such a person any day will do anything to sabotage the IGP.
The system.
The system don't belong to Dampare. IGP 4 they come and go. The police service will be there. So this is a byproduct of bad recruitment.
Okay.
Or the camera seen him the police service. This person should be advocating for good services and then as a forum. That is what you should be doing. Not the Dampare no problems best of all. what single room near the amount our police now or fridge ne or we be near sabontain will it change or salary and cost of damper you see we need to make sure that we bring on board smart and intelligent people into the security. Now say police officer Uber no koduna price assistant no say mean to also bet you how can you do this?
I do think this is a properly trained police officer.
Training police officer even say civilian when him provoke you to what extent until sir life bear threatening you don't even have to throw your hand. That is about you UK I don't know you over there mahuso mo brutalize am for na well ask who protest be because ma me continue police in the name so no dinner teman kasa but they were in public won't me nya ho hwe professional general den say gun hu no tie because it's part of the way about the job you understand. So for me the best solution is Alaska me say let us set up police training institution. This recruitment 6 months nyansa bia nim na you make sure say they go through that proper training so you are able to mold personality. Even training college nurses training college university man for spend 4 years kobano still it breed criminals but you be able to weed out most of them because you have 4-year training known to be in 3 years almost will betray them and they will drop on the way. Police are sensitive, they deal with life. In the lipa life is on the matter. Mahu police for mutimi Jessica Kochan Trogo man force or court made prison. How can you do this? Okoje and no to them we 4 years court we no police need to front. No or smuggle we ko back. Odo onu etwa prise. Uko biye na mo chi bi ode obi call your friend say sa sampa side ho baby. Within a short period, na boy not to talk car, not knowing say omo paki we egu car ma on the tina front. One day Odru was some continuous near say ye baby him or salute or was salute to cry baby him. Omo be ma we ne gua de bebre. Alaska professionalism no those things our hifa. But maka u training nipa na still bone nipa e nipa bone be koso. But when you subject them to long training like 3 years, every police officer before you come out, you will be able to mold them. Put certain acts be values be in the person. Sabaya obohu adwuma na oyo no beti ase na nya sika pe na obi aba. The next thing is next time op colora to adam. Car that is enti adwuma no kwan bi obefa so obenya no. Basenke ade sa adwuma no ye ni ye. No no so ye tua ne kai oba police officer ba accommodation na se for okay nya fe na soja ni aba abonten no ye na koto ya first dormitory mpa tata so be 3 or da soro na obi da na se obi da we privacy wo hefa. How do you even get sound mind to do your work how you're supposed to do? I think that this conversation must be extended na ye hu say the whole police system na nkasa ehia a total overhaul and include other agencies as well.
But I say I'm 11 already on 92.3 meba na mako Alan de Graf Kwanza wana mebisa say dampare remove anu na niji ho and as still osusu say akabibi yenye bibi fa Dr. Delasi Edward Fitafle was South Town constituency or say my people chia farmer Ivan na or say mishase etie Ivan Unia TV na nadwemu edda ho na me bon yankopon mpa say NDC aban no empe baby emfa nenhye emfa emaye osi omo pe baby emfa nenhye mate Alaska na min shira wo energy mo pa wo ye na ye ka se incentrate juma wo de mufa na Alaska wo so ya tawda na waka wanu atum me pacho sa mami ko Linda when the other call ago Edwe Fidodo wa jagbulete Alaska nyankopon share oni ejuma yema on egg osa GP ko na ni nyina ne se ni manfo ebo se na se ukokuro bi so na ohini no wokra no yetwe na bo so bisa se kuro no adwo odechia the man the Greater Accra Regional Minister Honorable Linda Akwele Uklu ni de odi aba eno no Musa do we fi kofodia sentiment Alaska ye da ase ni adwuma wo ye Alaska ye won sem bi aye ka Bob Marley eka na asem bi na ne oka say who the cap fits on one kasa Alaska ɔsi inspector general a Samuel Obi ɛwɔ so ohun sɛ ne nua no wababa bɛ fom nti tɛkyima ɛne ɛwɔ mo aka no mo report no ɔma yehu ne ɛkɔ so ɔsi asɛm bɛba debi ɔde nkyɛn de ma Ivan Kyei Innocent wɔn nso de ɔde aba Paul Amenosojo Alaska yɛda ase na ahyɛma constituency ɛyɛ secretary no debi ɔba it makes my day ɔsi wo kasa te sɛ grassroots na hina na gadi ɔsɛ ɔnyɛ grassroots person ɔyɛ grassroots person no obedi MC ni dia grassroots nyinaa ɛnkɔ hɔ na mo nkɔgye musika why Andrews edwe fi asamanka si ɔsi yɛ new IGP yohuno ɔsi yohuno ɛkyerɛ sɛ yohuno yohuno ɔsi ɔba nso yɛ nipa mana ofi osuwe mu ofi mi traditional council nti ofi medium Alan
yes sir
IGP ni changes yi eto wo say
oh
because coming from barracks now wo sa background eto wo say
oh me de Alaska say me di kan no de mete ye de ye kan a mete ye enu na informing position what you say because the meti efi police for ni bi ano ene nsem a omoka e de fa e papa dampare ho na emra so say wo say papa dampare ko because ohwe so we penin the police institution and so no and security services no so mo a oni omo ye adwuma no when they begin to drag their feet then we say you as the leader no you are in trouble.
Okay,
yes, you are in trouble. And so therefore for them to have called secretly or behind the scenes that Dampari is time that Dampari has to go, I think it's a step in the right direction.
Some were MPP, but they voted for NDC because they wanted their chief to go.
That is all. And so that is how it is. But when you say, Ghana Police Service, I don't know. We are a tenor. And as I did, you know, in the Ghana Police Service, after the 6 months training, every promotion be Ghana Police Service, we have to write examination for it.
Every promotion?
Yes.
Okay.
If from constable to corporal in the past,
but only during these elections,
yes,
now you get a promotion in the tower.
Thank you. And what do you expect? So all these things were designed to train the policeman, the intelligence. Before say benya position be at the amount so be a corpora. You have been tested, you have been tried, your understanding of the policing. Or they say, and no any man own that very position. And so over the years, and from when you become a constable, corporal, sergeant, or inspector, it's only chief inspector. And at the number of years I will be serving. Or they say, and then the chief inspector and the more for free. But before you even graduate from sergeant to inspector, no, you have to write exams.
Wow.
That is how it is.
Really?
Yes, that is it. That is how it is. And it's a you're inspector now, and no dear. So we control officers course, so that's the way nya. Or they say that in between that period, no, then you get your chief inspector. But in the past, nobody ever attained the position of ASP without writing an exam to gain that position. And all these processes they have to go through, it is refining the mind and refining the mindset in terms of how policing is supposed to go. So you are building the people gradually. So day in and day after, or every product as the person is writing exams, you are preparing the person towards a bigger world. A friend, a picture. Because in the past, when somebody comes from the university, bam, Oba Niamano, a friend, ASP.
Okay.
And that was opportunity. A champon. IGP a champon.
That's right.
Thank you. Oba and a man officer.
Okay.
After one more time, if I may remember very clear.
Not just one person through the ranks, but because of the educational background. Okay.
It got to a stage, said no. So our promotion of one by virtue of acquiring the first degree, and is also born at the police, because the practical police, sanka. And no, so police in us say, and as a school, no, Nasa on sa echo degree now so oba, yeah, my own ASP straight, yeah, my oba, ever inspector. And so at the inspector, no, you now go through the process. send a bell ube pick the basic rudiment of policing.
Wow.
Before I say so opportunity neighbor send crofo graduate the next that is ASP. The more I'm credit degree near your mind then your mark. Say another aspect about say if you are in the Ghana Police Service, Nase one year courses through the Ghana Police Service. Nase be off outside. Nase credit degree Nase or the Boba certificate consable.
Oh really?
That is it. You can do the checks. And all these things are things that has been put in place to help to reform the Ghana Police Service. And there are so many things that is within the Ghana Police Service at that one. But I don't know the reason why leadership have decided say on better side we ediegu. Now on my be from a Ghana Police Service ababe says. I mean I remember very well in the year 2016 before we exit power. And I say if I may remember vividly either 2012, 2013. I remember very well. Those days you see when NDC took up power in the year 2009. We were copying what Kufuor did from 2000 to 2001 to the year 2008, where they were picking party boys here and there. So when Atamos assumed office, right, there was robbery all over the place. That was where Atamos must had a shoot to kill. Okay. Now, yeah, you remember that was shoot to kill. That's right. Kill anybody you got on spot who's robbery. Master, don't waste your time and take the person to where you have just do
that. That was when you turn bus.
Thank you.
That's right.
What you are saying, and that no. The NDC realizes say the issue of party boys recruiting them into the police service. It is not wrong, but look at the caliber of party boys recruit them
and their competence.
And so therefore, at that point in time, you pull breaks. And I can say, and say penny be who wants to be my bobby. Man, any of the security services, make sure so they go through the process.
Wow.
And so we do, baby. That is where our boys started crying and say, massa. What is this issue about certificate? Because the others did it without certificate. Why are you asking us also to bring certificate? What do I say? Because the criminals were too much in the police service. To the sense, see, an amount of criminality in the police service is increasing. And these were breaks that were put in place in a baby to my checking system and a refining system. So it got from the year 2013 to the year 2016. Uko penny be hard when now cut and say, open police aqua. Or Becato say forms need PR. But what they have got top forms, no? Oh, got top forms, no? Nasa oko I had the day of a friend say recruit Nasa o pass it through. Now go through medicals. Nasa be okay, they are over meeting my name.
I've heard Matilda.
You understand? These were all things. So we restrain ourselves. What I say? But you see, when these people came again in the year 2016, they went back. Now, maybe you NDC in Ukra degree, or you NDC in Ukra SS. The fact that you have SS qualifies you to enter the Ghana Police Service. And therefore, when you go through and you have no criminal record and you are better checked, you qualify to enter the Ghana Police Service.
Okay.
But it becomes joy for the boys. Without checking their backgrounds, what happens? And so that is exactly what the MPP did.
Because what I know is first, you see a foul crown a police and not a ambassador. Wako even cry recruitment cry yet to me back community.
That is it.
I bet share who are.
You understand? Because a Juman and Nipan Quack are very sensitive.
But and as convicts cry to me a police for.
Oh, into Alaska.
Wow.
Going forward, no. Say Ghana be ye. I'm a Ghana tumpom. Na say person policing and na say security service in waiting ma ko inima. Yenya de ese efata. Yes, we are party people. Your party e wa bem. Ye pedwuma ye. But you penny for no so and making sure say kwan e be fa so a yedi nkofo begum aba be boy ho ma no. En kokon ya nkofo a omo se fata a on betimi ebo adwuma ko no na adwuma ko netimi agina ne nan so se na be a Ghana betimi hiding etumpon. But if it's going to be employment as a result of party, they say when the kitama baby are dampari edi ababedu I and you na ya kan ho asem I ne they are permanent for the first time within the Ghana Police Service. Na edem cameras nipa the cameras na first no grab na oh police who dare you even put the camera on you.
When I say Ivan about a year ago they are not dampari the cameras na Ivan Bekache him crashing. Do you recall?
I remember.
Because recent when about a week ago Okoye no Sagbaja.
You say I think say na ma me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the camera so yeah. Ivan, to wrap it up, no. What do you suggest? Say your security now. It's not about the Ghana Police Service.
It's about the security service.
Now, the Ghana Armed Forces is crowded a bomb. Air Force. as I'm talking to Air Force Commander or chain MPP communicator. And the people I've been advocating say, almost no, say, obi to me cracker say, omu Air Force Commander na, oba wood in about to your mama.
Alaska. For me, I think that maybe I make 1 or 2 about the budget.
Right.
Alaska. For me, some of these abayamba, yansisan way, abayamba, yansisan way. No, I'm not a fan of those things. Because and now yet here, you can't say me. Say NDC free power, China. Or being super bad, sisan kufuya ya can but problem don't solve. What I say. That is why I want us to shift our mind from abayamba, yansisan way. We need to look at the core issues in there. God. And you can't one of the basic things has to do with recruitment. Nipana ye form qualification, background. Because you are not careful, we will end up arming criminals with guns. We legitimize criminals to go out there and kill people. Wow. And that is what is happening. So we need to sit down and say, your police, a here new focus. Na yen retooling no. Na yen making sure say you see a professional police na. It must begin with the human resources no, the quality of it. And that should be fundamental. When you have these institutions and structures in place, I know that the leadership there it can run around because there is no police leadership and as a security capo anywhere in the world. What sitting on your job forever? No. One point in time you will go. But the professionalism and the institution, must stay. And that is what we should be concerned with. Conversation, by social media, is dampare yohunu. But the key issues are plaguing security in this country. Nobody is even delving into them. No. You understand? For me, the basic and the fundamental approach to this is to look at the issue of recruitment.
Okay.
And
the welfare of the personnel.
The welfare of the police. How can we live in a country? Our police in the billion van and na yakuno. The following day near far another constable the natinum no kwani yakuno. Another day near far another person na yakuno. For 3 consecutive times. Why would that such thing happen? Nipa no kono on Shavesto. Na ya man Gold Coast to 1957 they seen the 9 so. Oshia arm robber no cross sophisticated gun side up of Kenya within a short way meters otimi sutuku but fair na police officer and just say obi bie car no front man and san what 2010 no or cromford ahwe so and we were all watching the police resources no more no nemo mode ya kra no sometimes we dwene ho awon tiase police lands your friend say now one issue about a topic has to do with police uniforms. So first na yekra.
Very well.
But I say there is this private entity IGP by order that contract na more on the produce on a cranta the police officers. So in terms of security wise, no private sector no are coming into your friend say yen share police volunteer no. How are you even guarantees that such entire no will not get to people who are not police officers?
Exactly.
These are key issues, you understand? So for me, issues na ye can was stretch beyond individual dampare yohunu. We need to look at the issues of recruitment for me and the national security in other areas. I'm telling who will be also a national security. Nipa no original no cry but also a national security.
Oh, Nipa na
original no say national security.
But when you said for the first time, meaning say yes will be a national security or to me kita gota. But 8 years here, to me no be tenafie. Then time from 90 something 2000 yam papa mu MP da utumi no be to me tenafie kwa national security.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? What is it that what standards are we setting?
Yes. The national security is the intelligent wing of your security.
Exactly.
You working with somebody here, the person is national security, but you don't know.
Exactly.
Yes. And within it, they have this research department. External. So more or less like a CIA, the spy unit of the Ghana of the security architecture. And you will not even know. There are people who are regular, they do their normal. Let me tell you, some of these, say America called CIA, they don't have internal jurisdiction. You cannot operate within the US as a CIA.
Wow.
They operate outside. So over Ghana has said, obichara dey o school.
But Oyebi.
Kobane na se for no.
Martin said University of Ghana, you don't know what people
are doing. And forever and ever, you not even have a hint to send people dealing with some of these things. You what I say? Last time I catch you, war films and I say for now, Obi or CIA operative, no, very nice person what dresses a suit in as a form. Some of these things you see on the movies, they are direct opposite of what the actual CIA is. Because the CIA person, no, Usiana, they have something called nondescript. Usiana or Pimwa. No two anywhere and I say I can't describe now. The appearance is such that you won't even find a way to describe the person.
Wow.
Yes. Send no your friend was checking in as a phone. Oh, he's nice days there. But if I don't know, you can't describe the person. That is being intelligent and being smart, dealing with people. But let's get national security. Intelligence, smart, gathering intelligence, processing it. Because raw information, you'll be able to say. Intelligence in a refined form of raw information, our picky, and making it usable. So Nipano must be very intelligent, very smart, being able to analyze some of these things. Picky intelligence from information and any way. Now, how do you do all these things? So I think that we need to look at it properly.
Me light blinking for course.
Oh, Alaska.
Mama, be 5 minutes because me light started blinking.
Okay. So budget.
Yeah, I mean, Adam so says or say Omonji.
No, Nasa already on your serious. No one general, no mamma, no Gigi, and papa, no Gigi. Eh, because no more. You know, the betting bet, number 40 bet.
That's right.
And you know, when you know, none of my men bet Jana.
And the colleague, I have Patrick Boama Babe Pacha say you sleep. So
it's not a slip. It is not.
Obia wire press conference, no.
It is not.
Our big general statement in a slip. You see, I think there. Or more go money must say this is a party I was slipping into opposition. You do sober reflection and try to rebuild yourself. But arrogance, you know, the MPP does not even realize that they are in opposition. But if you look at the conduct of Afenyo Marking, then I say, but they are not backing down. Alaska, you need to build yourself up just to make a man for say, oh, you lose power, you CMBB, and we are coming back. But the rhetoric, the posturing and everything it doesn't show. For me, what I'm happy about is this uncapping and realignment strategy.
That's right.
At forcing, adopting just to ensure say the economy will come on back on stream. For me, that is very
excellent.
Good, excellent. For instance, now you can about financing some of these things, or say levy free ho, or say betting tax free ho. E11 was estimated said this year it was going to this year we generate 1.9 billion. Betting tax what cost around 190 and 180 million, not billion no.
Okay.
And in a million no carbon you'll be running around somewhere 2.2 billion. And the gentleman says, we have this Revenue Administration Act. I had to call Parliament in 2016.
That's right.
I make it sure say 6% of all revenue in this country will be sitting in a tax refund account or GRA.
Which is a very huge amount.
Yes. In a year, no. From now on, around 26 billion and them.
It's sitting in that account.
Yes. Can no for reta you sue just 43% penny at the refund of tax. And I'm sure it's a lie. There's significant amount of money in your Alaska, there's a resource pool. So as a smart and as intelligent person, all that kind of at force here and say or cut it, that particular amount by 2%. The 2% will generate 3.8 billion,
which is far bigger than
and cover the two. And there's extra because the two taxes will give you 2.2 billion. The 2% is giving him 3.8 billion. Oti 2.2 from 3.2 where 1.6 billion. And I catch it. Uncle baby, just being smart and making sure say you take away 2% from it, you know. Sasikano or the 100,000 8 year for assembly
members.
And this all of us is can or here. I had no just can free.
Wow.
Again, textbooks are more the air for Sasikani be no. School feeding Sikano Modia no, even though Monsieur Sade, Ebino Ditia. Capitation grant and I push you quite the moon. So you see, being smart, some of the things that they can create. And Alaska, you buy Now say free SHS. I catch us say any guarantee source of funding.
That's right.
So all that you have to do is or you on
any blueprint.
Yes. So Alaska, hey, now get funding no so far. Apart from say ya capino, now that bond so. Because uncle the kosia waji way. What John Mahama has done is say Bosian na kana eda get fund so
a buying
buying so get fund is free. And I was saying on capino. So Sikana Asanka Ebaha a bind the coding Semuno, Sasikana is coming back to
where it's supposed to be.
Where it's supposed to be.
Education.
That is all.
And that alone is generating extra 4.1 billion. Extra 4.1 billion. No? Free SHS financing at 3.5. Alaska, Uti free ma one, Uti free ma send back. Huge sums of money back actually. The Enono is paying for but people with disability are almost quarter share free. Sasikano is coming to pay. And there are extra cash to deal with some of these things.
But is it in the case
there is the need for us to ensure that this institution can elect their own leaders, and that's fine. But until that is done, the president had that prerogative. And for instance, if you go to America, even those advanced democracies, Alaska, a president now appointed the FBI director is appointed by the president. Trump will buy your first win of fire. No, on the crowd who's over no
I sack myself.
Yeah, I sack myself. So you see, it's something in a democracy is embedded. Because President Biya Surose, the head of security agencies, you know, they can make and make you at any point in time. So that discretionary power, and I'm free president, free baby, but you don't know whether the person is coming to sabotage what you're coming to do or not. Oko USA. One of the sensitive security agencies has to do with the director of CIA. The president now pointed out.
Very well.
Saying National Intelligence Way. President now pointing out. FBI director. President now pointing out. So all the security head